Good morning. Welcome to the second episode of the Wrestling Report. What an episode we've got for you today. We've got three amazing guests and my normal co-host, Mr. Wayne Madden. I'm Stephen Fairbairn, as always. Just going to introduce the guests before we start. Well, first of all, we've got Ryan Roode, back for his second appearance. Mr. Ryan Ace in a compromising position. And Mr. Matty Mayhem, who I worked with very briefly many years ago. Sadly lost footage now, but never mind, we'll talk about that coming forward. Just before we continue, lads, if you don't mind, I just want a quick shout out to our sponsor. We're sponsored by Valves and Vibes, which is a motor and camper company. They do custom tent roofs on Land Rover Defenders and custom campers in general. They've got a Facebook link. Valves and Vibes is the Facebook link. Have a look, see what you think. Mr. Wayne Madden, my co-host. I've done work with Wayne, as we mentioned previously. I have worked with him on Spanish Announce Table, which is sadly no longer something we do, but we're sitting here because of that. And we do a podcast called Plug In and Play, which is on Spotify. Check it out. It's kind of good. Right.
Excellent.
Thank you for coming on, lads. Thank you, Wayne. Right. So just before we continue as well, like and subscribe on YouTube. A few of you have watched, not many are subscribing. Give it a shout. We're on X, Facebook and Instagram.
Scrum.
Right, first, if you don't mind, lads, I want to jump in because this is something that obviously it's a big thing with independent wrestlers in general. There's a big story doing the rounds in the world of indie wrestling at the minute. The Raja Jackson story, and I knew this is the reaction I'd get because it's everywhere. Wayne told me before we went to camera. Apparently, they are looking at a proper criminal investigation now with the LAPD. Mm-hmm. So it is something that is allegedly going to happen, yes. Thoughts? Work your way along, Ryan.
I think it was completely out of control. There was nothing there that warranted his behaviour, not a thing at all. Even the can shot to the head, it was a work shot. He apologised multiple times. There's no excuse for the way that he reacted, not one.
Yeah.
All I can think is the guy is, I'm not going to say it because we've got 60 seconds before I'm allowed to say stuff like that. Yeah, he's not of sound mind. Is all I can kind of gather.
Seems to be the
general
consensus, doesn't it?
There's a lot of talk about the way that he is with his dad as well. Rampage himself. There's a lot of strange interactions between the two. Very strange interactions for.
There's lots of videos to back it up.
Yeah, a lot of strange stuff that Rampage says to his son that is odd. So it kind of gives a big insight of what their home life's like. So if that's the way he is outside of his home, I'd hate to see what he's like, behind closed doors, really. Yeah.
Well, this is it. I mean, in terms of, have you seen, obviously, there's footage, everybody's seen the footage. The footage of the guy, I think he's the guy dressed as the cowboy, I forget his name, I'm sorry. He was apparently gearing him up.
Yes.
Now, he's apparently lost quite a lot from all of this. His day job.
The consequences of my own actions, what a shame. Right?
Well, this is it. But he's now, have you seen the story he's recently come out with? He's basically said he was in character. And, and all that.
It's just a cop-out. Using work terminology.
Well, this was what I thought. I thought it was strange as well when it's behind the scenes industry terms. Now I'm not a worker in the industry, so I don't pretend and profess to be in the knowledge the way you three are. But at the same time, I'm obsessed with this stuff, so I learn a lot. Now, on that basis, a lot of fans are the same as me. Mm-hmm. They've never worked in wrestling, but they understand the consequences. And as you say, imagine that consequences for your fucking actions. You know what I mean? Well, there. Sorry. I think we're good. I think we're good for time. But no, consequences for your actions. And I just think, and as you say, the interactions he had with his dad is insanity. It's just absolute insanity.
Yeah, absolute insanity. No, sorry.
I just think he's a trained fighter. Yeah. If he was pissed off, right, he could have just given one, and that would have been it.
Why didn't he hit him in the car park when he hit him with the can?
Yeah, like why bring backstage drama in front of an audience?
Well, this was it. It made no sense. Yeah. And the fact that there were children in that audience as well. Now, you're a father, I'm a father. You wouldn't want your kids exposed to that nonsense, would you? You know what I mean?
It was fortune happens.
That's it. It was just a horrible video to watch. I've watched it about 4 times now. It's just very uncomfortable to watch when
it's one of those things, though, isn't it? When you keep going back, you can't help but watch it, even though you know it's a horrendous thing that's going on.
But then say talk about his dad. His dad's known for his anger issues as well.
Yes.
There's a very famous clip of The Ultimate Fighter when he smashes the door in.
Yeah.
So it's not, and as Roode says, his home life's dictated. Has probably got the same temperament.
Have you seen the video where the guy taps him on the shoulder? The fan. He comes up to him. He's like, I think he's a Chinese kid or something, and he comes up and taps the Rampage Jackson on the shoulder to get his attention. And he's there with Raja. and he turns round and just explodes on the guy. He's like, it's a controlled like anger though. He's not like screaming and shouting. He's just, if you had have just said my name, I would have turned round. But why did he tap me on the shoulder? And he felt disrespect, and he went, and then he started saying, "Look at the way my son's looking at you." So he was gearing him up then for violence. You know what I mean? This is in public. You know,
it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous behaviour.
There's no excuse.
There's no excuse for that sort of stuff. I get it. You know, they've got sort of this reputation for being, you know, for being a fighter, for being having attitudes and all. You know, they've got a reputation to upkeep, but there's a certain line that you cannot cross with the public, and they didn't just cross it; they absolutely obliterated it. It's ridiculous. No there's any sort of reputation or any sort of so I'm for you know, any sort of reputation or any sort of, you know, respect that they had from the fan base. Now that's it, it's gone.
Well, this is it. It's and gone. Then there's obviously come out with, you know, is it Danger Pro Wrestling, I think they're called, have allegedly booked him, but it turns out that was just a joke.
I thought that would be the case.
It's what I've been hearing. Whether that's true, I don't know. One thing I will say, I'll address the camera here. Everything we say here is pure speculation. None of us know for certain. None of us were there. So anything we say, you know, no legal proceedings need to follow this. It's all just speculation.
Yes, Rampage Jackson. Don't come at us.
Well, that's exactly it. You know, well said, Matty.
So I'll see you in the middle aisles of Aldi, right?
Tap him on the shoulder.
On, right? I'll tap on your shoulder, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Wayne, what do you think about this?
Throw a beer can at your son.
Exactly.
You're on your.
I think it's exactly what you've just said. You know, this is an active, this is a potentially active now Los Angeles Police Department investigation. So I think you want to be very careful. Did you tell me that this particular academy, was it Rikishi, of course?
Rikishi,
there's someone who unfortunately has fallen from stardom since their departure from the WWE, and I think from that point of view, it's blurring the lines perhaps too much. I have witnessed on occasion, as I say, without naming names, I have witnessed on occasion at wrestling shows personally, it's very obvious person A does not like person B, and they're going to use this structured match in a way to vent their displeasure. And it's childish is what it is, and beyond that, it just, you know, he could have killed a man. He's very lucky not to be going.
The fact that he's at home now and fit and healthy is insane.
Absolutely.
Because anybody who watched that video, you're looking at a man die.
Yeah,
it's
apparently
unbelievable.
did flatline for a little bit.
Did he really?
Yeah, because he was choking on.
I heard his teeth and whatnot.
He was choking, so he apparently went for a little bit.
That's just, I mean, just to segue. Have any of you ever encountered anything like this in the shows you've worked on, or not like to that level? Obviously, I don't think there's ever been anything.
Crowd get attacked by crowds. Not at that level.
No, not that extreme.
Have you had like what you would consider dodgy fan interactions?
We done that.
Define dodgy.
Something that doesn't leave you with a smile on your face.
The show as well. It was an MPW show in Seaham years and years ago, and me and Ryan. I think, did you wrestle Julio that show?
Oh, don't.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we wrestled a person, right? Yeah. And after the match, me and Ryan came out. Well, I came out, and me and Ryan beat down on this person.
Right.
And his cousin or his uncle or someone was in the crowd.
Right.
And he was pissed. Like.
Oh God.
Like, other substances. And he tried to get in the ring.
Wow.
To try and stop me and Ryan. Like, he was so angry, and we had to like tell the guy in the ring, like, tell your family member to calm down. Like, does he know it's not real?
That's not the only one as well, because there was another one in that same area, shock horror, where Nicky Starr, he come out and he was doing like a Triple H esque entrance, you know, spraying water, and he hit a child with the water. Oh. And the family went absolutely.
And it was just water.
It was water, yeah. I mean, I understand, you know, no one wants to get sprayed with you know, spitting or whatnot, but it wasn't like water the child. He didn't. He didn't miss them. He didn't green miss them.
Right,
you know,
I get
it was straight up in the end, hit the child. So we then continued to do the rumble, and he put a mask on to continue the rest of the match. It was a rumble, and he come out the mask hoping that it wouldn't see him. And I went out with a pair of knuckle dusters down the front of me thingy, expecting, because there was about 4 or 5 of them, were going to jump on him.
Right.
So I went out and we did the rest of the rumble with a pair of knuckle dusters down the front of me.
Wow.
front of me trunks just in case he
So
got
you were
jumped
genuinely expecting like real
on.
violence?
It happens quite a lot.
Yeah, people get annoyed, but like I say, to that extent, it's never happened. I don't
No,
think.
it's
But-
it's
Do you know what's
We've had people bang on the locker room doors for
Really?
the wrestlers. Yeah. There was a show we did up in Morpeth and Pegswood.
That's it. It's very close, these areas that we're
Yeah.
Seems
I'm
to be a
not saying
pattern,
there's a
yeah.
correlation, but I'm just saying, I'm seeing a pattern.
We did a show up in Morpeth and Pegswood. I can't remember the extent of the promo because I was backstage, but they said a promo. It was a show in honour of somebody who had passed away. Did a promo.
I shouldn't laugh. I was gonna say. Carry on.
And then the wrestler came backstage, white as a ghost. He goes, "Oh my god, I've just said the stupidest thing I've ever said." Because what he says, he's like, I was glad the guy was dead. Like,
Oh,
don't know what I said first. And he's
no.
like, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Where is he? Where is he?
Oh.
Like, don't know, mate. He's not here. I don't know.
I know who
Oh
you're
God.
talking about.
It was
So
like,
that's a mention no names type situation.
No names kind of thing,
Yeah.
Go out there and get some heat.
I had an incident happen to me at a show actually personally. Now, obviously, I think you'll have to. This is about 6-7 years ago. Possibly Ryan Ace was on the card coincidentally, but without naming who the promotion is, and you might know exactly what I'm talking about. It had originally started with, do you want to do an interview with this wrestler? And then at the end, he pushes you down the steel steps. And of course, I was like, yeah, let's go and do that and all that. But because I'd never taken a fall before, like, so basically the other guy one of the other guys who ran the promotion came in and was like, you can't do that to him. He doesn't know what he's agreed to and you're not going to do that. So then the next thing I heard, someone was like, okay, I'll tell you what. You're going to be in the crowd during the show. I'll call you into the ring. You get in the ring. We'll wish you a happy birthday. We'll have a little bit of an exchange. We'll sing you happy birthday. And then I'll give you a kick up the backside and you'll get out of the ring. How about that? And I was like, yeah, sounds fair enough. When I got into that ring that night, what I wasn't expecting him to do was spit a full load of water straight into my face in front of everyone.
God.
Some people pay for that.
I know what show you're talking. Was it the show with the stairs that went quite
Yes,
high up?
yes,
Yeah, I know what
yes.
you mean,
Is this
yeah.
the story we talked about in
Yes,
the car the other day?
yes, it is, yeah.
I wasn't even there, and I know the venue.
I know the venue. I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, obviously, when you're sharing stories, especially as you say, if you weren't even there, but you can automatically go, I know exactly what they're talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
familiar.
But no, I mean, like I say, obviously, I know fans. Do you know what makes me laugh is when you were talking there about fan violence and with the people bringing on the doors and having to have actual weapons on you to protect yourselves. It goes back to I follow Jim Cornette quite a lot on YouTube and whatnot. I think he's fantastic. Him and Brian Last do a great show. Shout out there. And they talked about in the 80s how in the 70s when Jim was just coming into the whole thing. People obviously believed it was real back then, and Jim's had literally guns pulled on him in crowds in like Kentucky and places like that, in Texas, and people getting stabbed in the crowds and things, and you hear things like that, and you think, God, I thought we were away from all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's madness, and to then think now there's a guy sitting at home, wherever he is, I don't know, I can't remember exactly where he was, but sitting at home, whose life has potentially been changed in a way that he's never going to come back from, and the fact that he's been through however many tours of duty as an active soldier, and this is what retires him. It's
It's crazy. It's funny though, because blurring the lines between reality and in the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
Sometimes it defines you as a good heel though. Like,
oh, don't get me wrong, I understand heel heat in the way that it
If you
works.
get that reaction from a crowd that legit want to punch you.
Yeah.
Then you go back and you're like, oh yes, I'm.
Well, did you see the Becky Lynch thing in Birmingham when she
Oh,
mentioned about Ozzy Osbourne?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, I've changed my stance on that because I was like, oh, she's out of line. But no, it's great cheap heel heat. And I was wrong at the time, and I thought about it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do
She
that?
didn't say anything wrong about.
All she said was,
Ozzy.
he's dead. She didn't say anything that wasn't true.
Yeah.
And Kelly obviously came out and,
Tag the fan account.
well, I did.
That's funny.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of what changed my opinion when I saw that. It was like, yeah, you know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. You know what I mean? Again, no lawsuits. We all saw it though. Now, just on that, I mean, obviously, heel heat in general is a great thing. And as you say, you work as heels. You've worked as heels. It's the best way. I mean, JBL famously years ago, perhaps quite controversially, goose stepped to the ring in Germany. Which was a point that one out.
Pointing
Sorry,
at me for
sorry.
that, Why are you pointing at me for that? Like, I wasn't there.
No, but you know what I mean, though. He did, and he had to be. I think he was escorted from the country, basically.
Yeah.
You know, it was that severe. But I mean, in terms of the Roger Jackson story in general, obviously there's quite a few industry professionals have come out with some very, very controversial takes.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam, for one, has come out, I got Roger's back, you know, on Twitter.
Yeah,
Mark Henry's come out and said Cycle Stu should take accountability. You made a really good point at the beginning. Yes, he hit him with a can, but it was an empty can, a worked can, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And they were like, well, he shouldn't have done it because the guy didn't know. Yeah. So, yeah, but it was a nothing. It was a nothing
I
thing.
grabbed someone's beard yesterday.
Really, did you?
I grabbed their beard and lifted them up like good for their beard.
See, that's awesome. If you'd done that to me, I'd have been made up, you know what I mean?
The thing is, though, like, if you just hit him with a can and then walked away and left it heel heat, I would give him benefit of the doubt that, you know, he didn't understand. He's not from the workers' background. He's not part of the industry. He could have seen it as he's just hit us with a can. Yeah. The fact that everyone that got around, no, stop. That you know, this was part of the show. I saw the cameras. I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
It was squashed at the end of the day.
He apologised the third time. The hand shook it out, and then you had that worker with a cowboy hat. Yeah. Goad him on to give him a receipt, which was bang out of order. Yeah. Absolutely. The guy with the cowboy hat was also an ex-MMA fighter, so he knows his shit.
Oh, was he really?
Yes, he was.
I didn't know that, right? Okay.
So he knows what he's talking about, and then on top of that, because he was on Twitch all night, and if you hear his conversation with the guys on Twitch, it was
for the 2 hours before.
For the 2 hours beforehand, he was sitting in the crowd. How many subs for you to go and knock him out? Yeah. How many legs for you to go and knock him out?
Well, he said his dream was he wanted to fuck up a pro wrestler.
So they were also goading him on. So the fact, so it's. I can't defend Raj Jackson whatsoever. No. Everything he's done is on his own back. Yeah. Any consequence he gets, he 100% deserves. Yeah. Psycho Stu, fair enough. It was a silly mistake. It was a silly mistake. Yeah. It was.
But to put it in perspective, obviously I know you lads, you know, well enough. Imagine you'd see me backstage and you were like, "There's Steve." Smack me on the head with a can. I wouldn't have then thought, right, I'm going to kill them. You know what I mean? The logic just doesn't track. You know what I mean? There's no sensibility to that at all. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Wayne, you've obviously seen bits and pieces yourself. You know, there's Mark Henry's come out in defence. Again, as I say, famously Rob Van Dam. There's been others.
It's friends of the family. The friend is
it is, isn't it?
It's always different when it's your friends. You know what I mean? Because you have to.
Chael Sonnen was a big one. Chael Sonnen was a huge one. Because obviously Chael, I know Chael's not a pro wrestler, but he. In terms of his personality, he's a pro wrestler. You know what I mean? He might have been an actual fighter, an MMA fighter, but in terms of his personality, he was very much a pro wrestler. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, he's one of the biggest characters in pro wrestling.
Well, this is it. I mean, look at the way he talked himself into the fights with Anderson Silva and things like that. You know what I mean? It was all very good. Right, but anyway, that's all dark and depressing, so let's move on from that. Just a quick one, and this is not something I normally do, so indulge me. I don't normally cover week-to-week shows because I don't want to be just another review show or anything.
But this isn't just another return.
Did you see who returned on SmackDown last night? AJ Lee.
Yes.
Terry hasn't seen it yet. He hasn't seen it yet. But you know.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry. He
won't watch us. Don't worry about it.
It was Jinder Mahal.
That's the point. I didn't
watch it. That's fine.
Jinder Mahal came back too.
Hurrah!
Yeah, Maharaja. But no, she got a huge pop.
Have led to AJ Lee returning.
Yes, it was massive. It was a great segment.
I was Ryan in the car on the way here, and I was like, was it like CM Punk?
Yeah, pop was.
It was epic, wasn't it? It was. We just watched it this morning before you came in. And the fact, I mean, the worst thing was I liked how WWE structured it because for the longest time they let people believe it was actually going to be Rhea Ripley. Yeah. And people, whether you know, there was always that little thing, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
It's dirt sheets. I'm sure there's someone in WWE that feed information.
I think he's paid to do it. I don't even think they're not leaks anymore. That's his job.
Yeah. There was an article about it's going to be Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, that's what I read. Yeah.
But there was the thing about social media where someone had put out a tweet on an old account saying it was AJ Lee and then it had been deleted. Well, but they picked up the story and then people went,
it was the merch store.
Was that the WWE shop?
Yeah, that's right. The WWE shop spoiled it and then had to delete it, you know? Yeah. So I get the feeling whoever ran that account may have got it.
Yeah, someone was saying like it's a bot account.
Yeah.
Oh, is it just a bot? Is it? Oh, right, okay. Well, that makes sense. But yeah, I just, like I say, it was It was a what they call them, a generational pop.
Yeah.
It was huge.
God,
There's been talks of her returning since Punk returned, though, isn't it? Because
Well, it was the thing in
he said he'd
AEW,
never-
wasn't
well,
it?
that's it, because he said he'd never come back, and so did she. But then since he come back, everyone's like, oh, maybe she will as well.
I can't wait to see how the online community, because I mean, we mentioned this in the first show, Ryan, and obviously when you remember this, we mentioned it, that the fans are very territorial when it comes to the big promotions, you know, especially AEW. They are fanatical. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm not a fan, I'm not saying I am a fan. I watch it. I think it's as a product, it's fallen off a lot in recent memory, and again, that's something we're going to talk about anyway. But in regards to when, as you say, when Punk came back, the first thing people were saying, right, we're getting AJ Lee, and I can't wait to see now how they react. Because 3 years later, whatever it is, and the WWE pulled it off, whereas AEW couldn't, with all their money, all their alleged clout and sway, and this that, and the other. And it's one of those things where I think the internet fans are going to explode. I really can't wait to see it, because they're hilarious as well. Not only are they fanatical, they're mental. They're absolutely crazy, and I love it. I love it.
What was great though was she fell right back into her character. Like
She did.
Yeah.
She was
Same
skipping
way,
and everything.
Yeah, the full thing.
I have to
was
say as
great.
well, she's clearly been keeping herself in shape. She looked incredible. She really did look incredible.
She still looks like how she does 10 years ago.
Yeah.
How does she?
She looks.
I had a massive crush on her 10 years ago.
I think that hasn't got, based on the smile on your face, that clearly hasn't gone away. You know. What I mean?
So I saw it this morning.
Oh, you saw it this morning, didn't you?
I woke up and went,
I bet you did.
Have to take your bed sheets off with it. Have to bench 30 kilograms just to snap them to fall them. Disgusting. Nail. Make me sick.
I love it. Well, on the basis of what we were just saying about AEW and all of that, me and Wayne were discussing before we came on. Yeah, do you watch AEW's product?
Not as much as I did when it first came about.
Same. I think everybody did because it was a new thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's still one of the greatest matches I've ever watched. Was the Cody and Dustin. It's hands down one of the best matches I've ever watched. I know people will probably disagree with this, but the storytelling from start to finish,
the mic work at the end and everything,
everything was
perfect. If there is such a thing as a perfect match, it's
people hate it because not everyone's a big AEW fan, and it's ridiculous hate. I don't watch as much now, but then again, I don't watch a lot of WWE content either.
Yeah, well, I'm hit and miss with it. I like the pay-per-views more than the smaller shows.
Yes,
Do
of course,
you know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. Do you know though? You made a good point, Matty, at the beginning before we started, and we were talking about AEW and I mentioned obviously bleeding in wrestling and how AEW have one particular wrestler who bleeds when he sneezes. No names mentioned. The bleeding in that match, the blading in that match, between Cody and Dustin was integral to the story as well, because they had to battle each other to that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if it didn't, it wouldn't have been as good.
no, that's it. That was actually a bit of.
And there was also a thing to show that Dustin could still put on.
Well, years later, he still is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's
still
hurt at the minute, but
I agree. I don't think there's been a match over the last 10 years that's been as good as that.
I think it's the best match they've ever put on.
Yeah.
Easily the best match. I mean,
mean,
they've had some good ones.
There'll probably be some people out there will probably argue, anything with Will Ospreay and.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a huge fan of the Ospreay. I'm certainly not a fan of the Bucks. Because I think selling wrestling, wrestling after you take a move is a bit of a dying art form with the way the new product is. It's faster paced, it's a lot more energetic.
Yeah.
But when someone's hitting, back to back to back to back,
Canadian
destroyers, and then getting up and then doing another running spot, it dilutes the whole product as a whole.
You just give me a little segue there if you don't mind, because that's,
of course,
obviously it's not even something I was planning on talking about, but you've just give me a thought there. You know what I hate? You just mentioned there, back to back, like Canadian destroyers. When Petey Williams was the first one, I believe, who did it in TNA when he was Team Canada, or one of the first to do it, the one that made it famous. That was a finisher. That was an absolute finisher. They use these moves now, these super kicks, the tombstone, whatever, as transitional moves.
Yeah.
As workers, does that not drive you mad? Drive you absolutely
mad? For me, a
mad?
pile driver for me should be a finish.
Absolutely.
You're driving
DDT
someone's
used to be a
head
finish.
vertically into the floor. So every time I see a Canadian, and then they're just getting back up. Like I think I saw a clip of.
Is this the one where they were back to back to back and they were all just taking each
No, I
other's?
think it was a clip from when I don't know what, maybe All In maybe this year. and it might have been the Bucks hit synchro Canadians on Swerve and
then they got up and did it back.
They just stood up and hit their own finish on them, and then act like they just didn't have their head driven to the floor.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You're supposed to be selling the point of. Well, it's like Jake Roberts. I mean, obviously, I'm a fair bit older than all of you, but I mean, in terms of when I grew up, Jake Roberts' finisher was a DDT.
Yeah.
A DDT now is a move to set up something else, whereas when he did the DDT, if he hit that, you knew that match was finished.
Yeah.
And not only was it finished, it was a protected finisher. Nobody kicked out of it. It was like Scott Hall, Riz Ramon with the Razor's Edge, or the Outsider's Edge, whatever you want to call it.
Psycho Sid was the first person to ever kick out of Hulk Hogan's leg drop at WrestleMania 8.
At WrestleMania 8, yeah.
And that wasn't
It was
even
a
meant
botched
to
spot.
happen because Papa Shango missed his cue to run in.
He was too busy with the hose. Yeah. The Godfather, in case anybody doesn't know, same guy, Charles Wright. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like Wayne says, big moves should be protected. I think one of the most protected moves of all time was the Outsider's Edge, the Razor's Edge, whatever you want to call it. Nobody kicks out that. Rhea Ripley uses that as a transitional move now. And that drives me mad.
I think it's touching on what Ryan said, like, obviously it evolves. You can't protect a move forever.
No.
So, once someone's kicked out of it, it's sort of...
It dilutes it as a whole.
Once it's done, it's done. It's like the first time the Perfect Plex was kicked out of.
Like the DDT, like you said, that used to be a finisher. But obviously, once people started kicking out of that, then why would you use that as a finish? Like, it makes no sense.
I mean, is it still a thing nowadays, is depending on who's doing the move, as to the sellable impact of it? You know what I mean? Like,
because I'll say this just about with every wrestler. I mean, for example, everyone uses a suplex, but only one person can use a suplex, like I can, and that's me. So I say that with every single move, every single pile driver.
Yeah.
Everyone can use
it's
a pile
like the
driver.
Sweet Chin Music with Shawn Michaels, that's his super kick.
Everyone can use a pile driver, but only I can use the big package pile driver. You know what I mean? Because that's my pile driver.
Yeah.
I like that. So you do put a bit of an ownership on the move.
Yeah,
I like that.
You have to. You're supposed to. But like I said, it's when it's such iconic moves, though. For example, Shawn Michaels super kick, which was a stable finish for.
Well, the build up to
all
that
of my
move,
childhood.
Well, the build up to that move is what sold it. With the counting down and tuned up the band and all that. Yeah,
and now you've got Jew, so it's just pointing it out left, right, and centre, and it means nothing.
The Bucks as well.
The Bucks as well. Don't get me started on the Bucks. Don't get me started on the Bucks.
But no, going back to your question, like, does it annoy you when people do this stuff on shows? If I was on the show and someone done that, it wouldn't bother us.
Right.
Not being egotistical or being like a dickhead, but me and Ryan could go out and we could hit someone with a double superplex.
Yeah.
We could build that double superplex all through a match, and that would get a bigger reaction than for people doing Canadian.
Very true.
Right. It's like with, I mean, Kenny Omega, wrestler I'm a huge fan of, more his New Japan stuff than his AEW stuff. Yeah. His matches with Kazuchika Okada, he never hit Kazuchika Okada with the one-winged angel until he beat him.
Yeah.
So that they didn't have anybody kick out, and that was such a great way to protect that move. And he lost 3 in a row, I think, against Okada, and then finally beat him for the IWGP title. And it was a case of they just didn't, because fans would go in it, and the Japanese fans are very different in their mentality. They don't expect the finisher in every match. Yeah. They know if that finisher isn't getting hit, then that guy's not winning.
Yeah.
And I think that's just. It's a type of booking, I think, that American wrestling especially has lost. Now, to be fair, I said this to you on the last show, Ryan, I'm a little bit out of touch with the local indie scene. Being a dad...
It's not a bad thing.
Well, being a dad gets in the way, yourself, mate.
It's not a bad thing.
It's unreal, innit? But I mean, it's one of those things I haven't been to a show in a while, and I'm going to the show on the 19th.
Yeah.
Yes.
I need to speak to you about that off camera, by the way. We'll do that later, because I want to set some things up, but don't want to talk about that now.
You better not be. You better not be recruiting.
Recruit what?
No. nothing like that.
In the dark as you are.
Just things I've had in my head and I just wanted to discuss with you, mate. That was all it was, but it's an off-camera thing. But I mean, off that, a slight segue in terms of moves, and obviously, Wayne, you've been to a lot more shows, I think, probably recently than I have. If someone was to do, and as I say, apologies, I'm a little bit out of sort. Do you have like a combined tag finisher?
Yes.
What is that?
So it's a slight variation of the 3D, which we call the NE29.
Nice one. I love it. That's class.
Nice.
I love that postcode. I love it. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of that, if someone did a move similar to that in the show, would you be annoyed?
Yes.
Before you'd gone out?
Yes, I'd be furious.
Yeah.
It rarely happens now, though, because I think we'll work with a great group of people.
So you've got a bit more close-knit community.
A lot of people generally recognise this. This is your move. This is one of your.
If someone came up to us and said, "God, can we use this?"
A lot of people do that, though, to be fair. I'd tell you who's a proper good guy for it. Asylum's a really good guy for that. Are you using da-da-da today?
So he'll actually check and then he'll take them out of his set.
Would you mind if I used da-da-da? No, go ahead. No,
Right.
I don't
See, when you get clearance, it's like when you use
I don't
a big...
mind that, yeah.
It's like when you get, you know, the wrestler using a big finish.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Owens using the
Yeah.
stunner, for example. Obviously, he got permission. Because that is probably the most iconic finish of all time.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the stunner, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And then yourself, if you started using the stunner, people would question why, or yourself, or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's one of those things, you did question why you suddenly started doing that, because especially if it goes against your move type or your move set. But the thing is with Kevin Owens, he's a big, heavy-set guy, not so much recently. Have you seen how much weight he's lost? My God. But he's a big, heavy-set guy generally, and he can pull that move off. Like the package pile driver, which you mentioned, he does that, and he does a fantastic version of it.
Absolutely.
You know what he did to Cody?
So I use the cutter as my finisher.
Right, great finish.
Perfect finish, you know, I loved it from when I was growing up. But then I did a match, no, I didn't do a match, I was managing my tag partner, Kendall, and he did the cutter in the match I got kicked out of. And I didn't mind as much because we played it off as in, he looked at me and goes, "Oh, your finish didn't work, Ryan." I went, "Well, obviously you didn't do it right then, did you?"
So you wrote that into the storytelling, yeah.
But like, in terms of the tag finish, there's only 2 people I'll ever let kick out the tag finish, and they're sitting on the couch with me right now.
What is your tag finish?
So we'll hook them up in like a cradle, like you would quite a little baby.
Right.
Me and Kendall throw them up. I come down for a cutter. Kendall switches it to a powerbomb.
Wow.
The clacking
cutter.
That is a great finish. That is a great finish. You both sound like you've got great team finishes. I love it. You know what I mean?
But if someone did that on the show before, match before us, me and Kendall would be fuming.
It goes along the lines of, so say for example, you've already went and we'll use for example your main event.
Yeah.
Right. Now everyone knows that your main event is, I don't know, a Falcon Arrow, stolen suplex, right? And then 2 matches before, someone randomly pulls it out during heat.
Right.
Right.
I get you.
And then that gets kicked out of.
So this is your big finish for your main event, and they've done that.
They've used my big finish, and not only that, they've allowed it to be kicked out of 1. So it's not even being used as a powerful finish.
Fair enough.
It's being used now. You've made my finish look weak. You've made my opponent look weak. You've made the main event look weak.
Right. So they've devalued the show.
Yes.
Basically, right.
Yes.
Okay. And the product in general.
This is why it's important. A lot of guys should be speaking backstage, talking to each other. Yeah. Are you using this? Are you using that? Are you using this setup? Otherwise, you've got 6 matches. Everyone's using an international. Everyone's using the 10-punch spot. Everyone's using the same finish. Everyone's doing the same thing back to back. Yeah. But you will find a lot of, if there's been a seminar before a show, because everyone seems to like to use what they've just learned, understandable, I guess. But at the same time, it is really, it just devalues the whole. Yeah. Because if you just got 6 matches.
How much of that communication, in your opinion, have you seen happen?
Not a lot. Okay. Not as much as there should be. Not on the smaller level shows anyway. Mm-hmm. On the bigger level shows, everyone goes around it. It's mandatory.
And if you had if you had a dispute, would it be the promoter that would be expected to sort it out?
Absolutely.
Or,
I mean, it'd be best if you sort it out amongst yourselves. Because usually what will happen, because we've had it happen before, Tom Bassnett, TJ guy. TG Rex now, sorry. Beautiful man, very, very good. Should be booked more.
Throwing out the love, I love it. It's great, isn't it? It is.
So he came up with this because there was 2 tag matches on the show. We were after him, he was before us. And he went, "Oh, we're doing yada 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 this spot." And we looked at each other and went, "Oh shit, we've got that spot. We're doing that as well." Right. And he went, "Oh well, actually," he went, "Well, why don't you do this one instead?"
So he gave us
an alternative spot, which you know is.
I think you took that on board as a
absolutely. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're all in the business together. It's shared good practice that we all should be, working, because we're all working for the same team, we're all working for the same product, we're all on the same show. It should be a good show back to back, for not just for ourselves but for the fans as well.
I like that.
It shouldn't be a case of my ego's so big that I should be the only one that people should remember on the show.
Fair enough.
It's a whole product. It's a whole product. It's a whole show. It's a whole setup.
Yeah.
Do you think on that basis then you get people who you perhaps don't work with as often, because as you said, you made a good point there, you've got a pretty close-knit community you're all part of, you can tell you're all friends, you're all good pals, and I love that, which makes it even the more entertaining when you go out there and you're on, you know what I mean? I love that. I think that dynamic works.
Get away with more, can't you?
People
get away with more, can't you?
You can absolutely, you can.
People
absolutely.
genuinely bought into the Reform Anarchy Inc. storyline.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Ryan was talking about it last time,
It was my word. Like, do you actually really hate each other?
See, that's great though. Do you know?
I'll go into my actual job. Like, I'm a day life. I'm a teacher, and we're going at each other. I think you had just broken your collarbone at the time.
Yeah.
And we're firing a lot of shade on social media. And had my colleagues come up to me and goes, so is this Mayhem? Like, really annoys you? And there's a photo of him flipping me off at a show unrelated to where we were feuding.
We're just there.
We were just there. So we got in there.
That's
their
great though.
faces.
Prolong the storyline, isn't
And
it?
then all my colleagues were like, God, you guys, are you gonna be okay wrestling? Like, you know, like, you guys behave it. I was like, no, this is great. Like, this, I told these guys that, and they were absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. If you obviously, Matty, I know you haven't had a chance to watch the whole first episode yet, but you hear how fondly he talks about you both and the stories he told about you, and obviously the broken collarbone one being quite a big thing we were talking about, weren't we? You know, and it was we were talking about it, and it was a case of you're going there to rival in front of however many people are there.
Yeah.
You're travelling there together, and I love that. I just think that's absolutely wonderful.
Like,
You know,
the group as a collective, like Liam included, Kendall, we've all grown really close over the last year.
I like that. I like that.
I mean,
we've always been friends. But
so I've probably known Liam
10 years now.
about 10 years.
Right.
Yeah. So were you?
Yeah.
To be fair. Yeah.
I think
I don't know if he was in the first.
I'm not certain I've ever seen him wrestle. I've seen obviously all three of you wrestle on many occasions, so I'm guessing I probably have. If I've seen you, he must have been on shows with you. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
I've not seen you as Reform,
Yeah.
so I know that for certain. But obviously, I'm certain I've seen you.
Absolutely worth checking
Check it
out.
out. You don't get enough credit for what you do.
I like that.
Yeah,
No,
you should do.
that's something good. And anybody watching this, it's just good to see, man, guys giving the credit where it's due. You know what I mean? And they should, because everybody. I hate this phrase, but what is it they say in WWE? Getting their flowers. You know, giving them props. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
People that deserve it need to hear it.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask you before is, have you ever encountered, because obviously you work all over the country, in certain cases probably all over the world, you know, and or at least when you get out there, have you ever encountered guys where you maybe haven't worked them before, where you know when you're in the ring you're in with someone you shouldn't or wouldn't want to work with again? You don't have to mention any names.
Yeah.
Have you all encountered that?
Yeah,
Have you?
many times. Even people that I haven't been in the ring with, but I've been with them backstage, and I'm like, I never want to step foot in the ring with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Just from that impression?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What gave you that impression? Just the mentality,
Just a
or
bit of a prick.
right?
Yeah.
Or pricks, sorry.
Pricks.
Yeah, I'm not just soloing on one
As I say, I
person.
don't want to mention any names
No,
or anything,
yeah.
but yeah. I mean, so you've actually, and is that the same for both of you as well, both Ryans?
Absolutely. I've seen ones that'll go out there and be. I'm not against being a snug worker.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it looks better when
I spend a lot of time in Scotland. Scotland is very, very snug.
Yeah.
And I'm all about that. Sorry, Terry. I know I've hurt you.
Black
out.
my eye,
Yeah, sorry. So I do work very, very snug as and when I can, because it's the way I like to work.
I have to be honest with you. I fanboyed over you the first time.
I know you did.
When we did Spanish announce table, I fanboyed big style, and it was because I enjoyed that style of work, and it was like, because you work so well as a heel, you just, and as you say, it looks, because you're getting your stuff in tight, you're getting it in snug, it looks like it should, you know what I mean? And you all work the same, I think, don't get me wrong, but in terms of, it was very embarrassing. I'd never done any sort of broadcasting. I think I'd done one episode of Spanish announce table prior with Wayne, and then he said he was bringing you in, and I was like, this isn't going to go well. And he walked in, I went and talked to him for 5 minutes.
Sat in the corner, wouldn't make eye contact.
I'm surprised listening to you, actually. I'm surprised that you've never met Liam
he's got
properly
it.
before.
I know.
Because Liam was a presenter of the Spanish announce table for a long time as well.
I don't know how I never did. I must have done that.
Yeah.
You know what I
must
mean?
have
I
done,
must.
Liam was like, he's the man. But he was with us, like, there was a big group of us there for a
I
while.
must
You
have been then.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's just one of those things. It feels like another lifetime. You know what
It
I
does.
mean?
Yeah.
But no, I did, and I'll admit that live on camera now. I fanboyed in a big way, and then a few minutes later, I ended up walking out of the studio with you, having a bit cracking, you know, and this and the other. But honestly, it was ridiculous. Got home that night and told me better. She's like, "How were you?" I was like, "I was a fool." I was a fool.
In the audience in North. And I was like, "Oh, he's sitting behind us. Who's behind us?" Just trying
Trent.
to.
I know.
I was hammered
Was that the North show you were late to my birthday for? Yeah.
at the walkathon.
Could be.
Yeah.
Oh dear, I've opened an old
I know. With Gangrel and all that. I know. God, I
I
know.
was there, but I turned up, didn't I? I was there.
I know.
Gangrel. Do you know the worst thing is?
And I
He was
was only an
sitting.
hour late to my own birthday.
He was sitting in the bleachers seat behind me, and I was at the front, and I was like, "This will be, I'm making the most of this," and I had put down a good few, and he went, "He's behind you." I went, all right, mate.
Give us his phone number.
I was like, yeah, give it.
Social media.
Oh God, you're making me look bad here. This is the finale, the last show ever. This is the last one, the end of, at least with me on anyway. But no, it was. But look at where we are now because of that. You know what I mean? This is the thing. Well, this is it, and it's one of those things where I never would have thought all those years ago, because obviously I spoke about the now sadly lost footage of you beating me up. All those years ago, I never thought it was ever going to get to this point. You know what I mean? I tried and tried.
Absolutely.
Honestly, just a quick segue here. I can't thank you all enough, and Wayne as well for helping me do this, because honestly, you're helping an old man live the dream. You know what I mean? I love it.
Great setup, looks good.
I love it. No, thank you very much.
Just to loop back to your question.
Of course.
Oh yeah, sorry.
we did get
Let me finish my point before.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
mate.
So there was. So just to loop back, there was like I said, I work quite snug because I spent a lot of time in Scotland. Scotland are very they always work snug. In fact, they hit you harder if you don't hit them hard.
Right.
Basically.
Okay.
And
okay.
I love that.
And do you all like that, or
I prefer to be hit.
no? I want to make it real, yeah.
Pervert you though. So
We'll edit that one.
No, we won't.
No, we won't.
there's some guys that'll go that step beyond.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being snug and safe.
Yeah.
But there's some guys that'll go a little bit beyond the margin, and you see someone getting, an overly stiff shot.
Somebody gets a bit carried away.
Someone gets a bit carried away.
Yeah.
Forgets. Someone comes away with, I don't know, a big lump on the forehead, or a black eye, burst lips. Accidents happen. It's a nature, it's the nature of the business.
Absolutely.
But when you're in somewhere, in the ring with someone, at the end of the day, we're putting our bodies, our lives, our
livelihood,
your families, things like that, in their hands, and they're supposed to protect us the same way we're supposed to protect them. That's the way wrestling's supposed to be. One botched move, again, accidents happen.
Yeah.
Touch wood, I hope that's wood. Touch wood, it's never really happened to myself, but some guys will take liberties and they think that this is a lot more, real than it is. And if I go home and I end up with a smashed up face, it affects my job, it'll affect my family, it'll affect everything.
No.
So, but it's stuff like that. It's guys like that when I see them in there and they're hitting someone as if that person owes them money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
like, I never want to step in the ring with you because that'll very rapidly turn into a shoot.
That's fair.
There's a few that I've seen that are a lot like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
It's never the ones that you expect either. No. It's always someone that's like
quiet.
The ones that have the ego that.
Yeah, the ones that have the ego. Sorry, the ones that have the right to have that sort of, or you would expect to have that ego and never do. It's always the ones that don't deserve it. Are the ones that are the biggest arseholes.
No, I like that.
I don't understand why that is, but.
As in, they've got an elevated sense of self.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
See, you've got guys right at the very top who are, have hit levels that, I can still only dream to hit.
Right.
And they are the nicest people I've ever met.
Which is what it should be.
Couldn't give you enough praise.
Yeah.
Your Johnny Storms, your Kirbys, your Crowleys, your big fucking Joes.
Right.
Lovely guys. Couldn't give you enough help, enough credit, enough guidance.
Yet if anybody had the right,
but then
potentially,
but then it's always like this little shit bag down here somewhere that's done nothing, been nowhere, got this inflated self of ego because he's got his mates fucking.
It's a fucking mate.
No.
To be fair, you're three of the most humble people I've met.
I'm kind of hearing that though. I can't tell you things, but you. So yes.
This is an off-camera conversation.
Yeah,
I think.
it is,
Yeah.
And it's always just this little. It's always like a little shitbag who's got like an inflated self-ego.
Right.
Who just thinks that they are 10 times better than what they are, and they start going and start causing dramas and shit slinging. But it's always those types. It's never someone that's up here. It's always someone down here, and that's.
It's not right.
What puts me off as well is massive thing is if you're a twat backstage, right? That puts me off for ever wanting to work here. At the same time, I've got friends that I don't want to work again.
So people you would
I
consider
know that I don't want to work again because it's for one way or another. But also a massive thing for me is hygiene. Like if you open your bag.
What are you looking at us for?
And
Cheeky bastard. Oh, we're talking about hygiene.
But we were in a locker room, all three of us together.
I've washed me back.
And it was.
Yeah.
The entire locker room was fine. All the rest was a win, but one. This man in question walked in, opened his bag, the whole venue, not alone the locker room, absolutely hummed.
Oh my
That
god.
could be a couple of things, that though.
Yeah.
I could think of a couple of people like that.
Oh yeah.
So you've encountered more than one.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And if you stink, as I don't want to.
I don't blame you. At the end of the day, you're
I don't want to come
in.
away smelling.
Oh,
of
yeah,
sweat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Or your
a
backside.
it's a hot, sweaty job anyway. At the best of times, you know
especially
what I
in
mean?
summer, because obviously some locker rooms, and quite a thing with the smaller promotions as well, because it's quite annoying. Smaller promotions will search out the venue and they'll go, right, this fits the ring, this fits the ring. Oh, I'll fit, I don't know, 90 people in here.
Yeah.
And then the rest of all come and go, all right, where's the changing room? And it's a fucking, it's a box.
Like a cupboard, like the kitchen over there, kind of thing.
They've got
Yeah.
30 people crammed into this small room.
Oh my
After every
God.
match, those are coming out, they're sweating, they're coming backstage, and you're boxed in, you're sweaty, everyone's trying to get changed. It's stuff like that. It's vile. So when you're like that, and someone's got dirty gear, and they've not washed, and they've not bathed, and they've got a sweaty horse, and they've got sweaty gear, and the knee pads stink. Honestly, it's
horrible.
Workers, wash your gear.
Wash your gear.
Febreze
Soap.
discount.
Buy soap.
Public service announcement from all three of them. Wash your
Febreze
gear, yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And the thing is, I
And if
think
you're gonna stick your backside in someone's face as well, wash your backside as well, Warwick.
Oh!
It's happened to me 6 times now.
not that you remember each and every time, right?
Every
A
single one.
lifelong trauma there, isn't it?
Wakes up in the middle of the
night.
night. Wakes cold sweat.
I'm gonna get his backside in my face for that now.
Sorry, right, look.
No, it's fine. I was just keeping along
Oh,
on
it's
the
good.
discussion. No, I'm not trying to stop you. By all
Right.
means, carry on. That's
Let's
why I
go
brought
for
you
5
on for. I couldn't go for 5 hours in any form, anything in my life.
Me either. You speak to one of us. 5 minutes.
Whoa,
No, it was
pushing the
6
booty
It was
there.
6 times by then. Right, sorry.
Right, but no, Wayne's obviously wanted to follow on from a subject that I
Of course.
discussed with Ryan the other day, which, by the way, is a subject that Ryan's responses were wonderfully hilarious. I've watched them back on because he's of his age and whatnot. Incidentally, just out of interest, how old are you both? Because obviously I know you're, 26, I believe you said?
26.
Yeah, how old are you?
And he's 34.
And you are
22.
the 22-year-old, so you see him. And then you've got Wayne. How old are you really?
37.
There we go. So there you go. And I'm 45, and I'm 46. So it's funny when I talk to people of a certain age. I work with a very young lad. He's 21. He used to be a footballer for Newcastle and that. And when I speak to him about things, he's that young, and this is just a slight segue from wrestling. And now, if you don't know this, I apologise, but he's that young. He didn't know Vinnie Jones was a footballer. He thought he was just an actor.
It's like the most iconic football photo.
Well,
of all time.
Gaza, yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. So when I ask about wrestling, obviously with the Hulk Hogan situation, which we mentioned to Ryan on the last episode, and he kind of went, "Well, not a fan." Which, having watched the episode back, made me laugh so much because he was just like, "I don't care," you know? And it was just so funny. It was funny, and I know I shouldn't laugh because obviously the guy died, and I am a big fan. But that threw me so badly because I had all these things set up in my head, and he was like, "Not bothered."
I think my equivalent would be if Cena died.
Fair enough.
Like, I think
No,
my
that's fair enough.
equivalent
Yeah.
Oh, right, I
if,
see what you're getting
if Cena died, I'd be absolutely
Yeah.
devastated.
Well, that's what I said to you at the time. You never
Yeah,
saw him
yeah.
at his peak, so that was
That's
the thing.
it. So I just didn't.
It just made me, honestly, I know it was one of the more unintentionally funny things because of the fact you just didn't care.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But probably in the same breath, like Bruno Sammartino, for you when he died, is probably the thing you missed
Sure.
it completely all his
Sure.
heyday,
well, that's it
so-
because he was in the 60s, you know what I mean?
And then
1960s.
Cornette was absolutely in tears about it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I think it's again just a generational thing.
Well, it's Buddy Rogers and people of that generation in general,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, I never really saw them wrestle. I've watched some of their matches. I have to be honest, and this is something, before we segue to the Hulk Hogan thing, this is something, when I watch matches of that generation, because they tried to make it real and the fans generally believed it was real and, you know, keeping a kayfabe and all that, they're hard to watch.
Yeah.
They're hard to watch. They're not fun matches. Nobody's doing any big spots or high spots or anything like that. There's no, you know, tag matches. There's no big hot tag or nothing like that. You know, the heels and faces are very, very clearly defined.
Yeah.
But it's 4 guys in their kecks who all look the same, all doing the same thing, and it's hard to watch. It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yet without them, we wouldn't be sitting here now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This
Yeah,
is the
absolutely.
thing. Or at least not in this context. This is what we mentioned on with obviously VKM. We'll just segue those initials in there because I'm not
Yeah.
mentioning his
Yeah.
name. We'll just have that. But no, Wayne, you wanted to carry on a bit more about the Hulk Hogan thing.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I on your point about generational stuff, I cared a lot more when Bray Wyatt passed away, more because of how much I respected him as a performer, but also his age. And I'm not taking anything away from Hogan. Obviously, I wish he had lived until he was 100, but in reality, he was in his 70s when he passed. Now, the one thing I wasn't surprised to learn that Hogan died. What I was probably more surprised to learn was that he died of a heart attack, because I didn't immediately think, hang on a second, was he in that ill health or was he suffering?
Allegedly.
And indeed, allegedly, so the coroner has decreed that it was a heart attack was the cause of death. However, there are a couple of stories which have come out since, which the alleged is that it was actually malpractice involved. Now, it goes back to an occupational therapist who was allegedly present when the 911 call was made from Hogan's house to when the superstar had stopped breathing. And ultimately that when the police had arrived, this therapist was to have said to the police, I strongly suspect that there's been malpractice here. And so there is an active investigation that has been launched into that. And that's happening at the moment. On the back of that as well, Bubba the Love Sponge, who was a friend of Hogan's for many years, he is producing or directing a documentary about this infamous sex tape. This documentary is about to be released.
The sex tape.
Hulk Hogan's son has a lawsuit against the documentary, but his daughter, strangely enough, Brooke Hogan, who chose not to attend her own father's funeral, has chose to attend the premiere of this documentary, and has very publicly spoke about that. Now, what I'm curious about, really going back to Hogan, death by malpractice. I mean, did the news of Hogan's death so suddenly surprise you? Because for me, I thought, well, hang on, sure, wasn't he only at WrestleMania? And I get, the Ultimate Warrior died the night, of course, that he appeared on Raw. But when you go back and look at that footage, the Ultimate Warrior does not look well.
He looks like he's dying there and then.
I was just about to mention that before you said it. Like, when Hogan came out with Mania, he didn't look well.
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
There was definitely not.
There's been some photos where he looks haunted, looks gaunt.
He lost a lot of weight.
He
lost a lot of weight.
I probably won't speak too much on it because I don't care about him.
No. Are you just in the same camp? You're not?
No,
Fucking hell, he has me carrying the fucking conversation here. So, when I was younger, I was a big Hulkamaniac.
Same.
I was big fan. WWF fucking curtains, WWF bed sheets.
The blue one.
Yeah,
I had that. I had that.
I had the big.
Still have? No, I haven't really.
These big. These Hasbro talking head figures, like 12 inches later, drawstring on the back. And you draw it with, I'm a Hulkamaniac.
Was that the Hogan and the Warrior figure?
Yes, I had those as well. I was a huge Hogan fan.
I have both of them.
It's just a trip down memory lane. These two really.
I do.
I had all the figures, I had everything now. So I was a huge Hulk Hogan was what got me into wrestling when I was younger.
Same.
He was my favourite wrestler for a long time. As a child, the older I got, the less I kind of liked him as.
Well, his matches become less appealing because he doesn't really do anything. This is what I was saying before.
That since you joined the business, you understood a lot of how much of a prick he was.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In terms of what the politicking and everything. Yeah.
So, like, being a child, I think I've said this before. Being a child is having Hulk Hogan as a hero. Being an adult is knowing that Terry Bollea was an absolute arse.
Yeah.
An absolute shitbag in the industry. Like,
Ruined
for
a lot.
many reasons. He ruined a lot of other wrestlers' reputations. He ruined a lot of people's chances, a lot of people's shots. I mean, being in the business, you kind of understand it's a very competitive business. To some degree, I can understand why he would be the way that he was. I can't let this person get more money than me. I can't let this person get more pushes than me. But the ways and means that he went around it was scumbag. He was very, very scumbaggy. But his sudden death did shock us. So I mean, I was shocked that he did pass so you know, suddenly, because you don't ever like look at someone and go, yeah, you're going to die soon. You know, you're definitely next.
There's a few.
I mean, there was a few. I mean, they passed them on the high street, but like, but
One man you can say that for years.
but really, you know what I mean? But really, you never like to look at someone and go, yeah, he's definitely going to die. I mean, I was more shocked because I do remember the one that did shock us and probably impact us the most. I still remember what I was doing. Was the death of Owen Hart.
Oh God.
Yes.
Because I was watching it. I had me mum and me nana was sitting in the front room and we're watching wrestling, and then cut away. Oh, what's happened? You know,
Died on live television.
There's been an accident, you know, and I was like, oh, it's not real. It's not real. It's part of the show.
Yeah.
No, he's actually died.
Died
So
on live TV,
that one's probably shocked us the most. It's had the most impact on us like to this day. Owen Hart was probably, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers.
Underrated.
Massively
Insanely
underrated.
Owen
So good.
was better than Brett.
Well, he was going to have
Yeah.
the title, wasn't he? There was that whole thing where they were building up for the title with Brett. From
a
Brett,
lot of
wasn't
people
it?
will disagree with.
You think Owen was better than Brett did?
Yeah.
I think Owen
Oh,
was better.
yeah.
I agree. I agree.
The thing I like about Brett, I like about Brett though, is Brett is not someone that could just have five. He didn't just have 5 moves to do.
Yeah.
Bret Hart could go out and wrestle anyone and have a different match
Make
every
him look
single
$1
time.
million.
Make him look $1 million.
Yeah.
He was very, very good at his craft, and he'll always be very,
Very
good at
nice
his
man
craft.
as well.
Very miserable.
See, we've had this conversation. No, it's fine.
I know you dropped another word.
No,
that
no,
should be said, but-
by all means, take it. I don't know what words are off limits.
Oh, sorry. So,
Say what you want.
I mean, I understand why the way that he is, but I feel like he's over time he's become very, very jaded.
He's very bitter with
He's
the
very,
industry
very
in general.
bitter.
Yeah,
It's-
he is.
I think he's ruining himself though.
I met him at a book signing and he was nothing like he is now.
No.
No, nothing. He was a really nice man. He was when his autobiography came out,
Oh, right, okay.
and I went and I can't even think where the signing was now, but I met him. He signed it, talked for a few minutes. You know, he spent time to speak with every fan.
That's
He
nice,
was a really, really nice guy. And then I bought a pair of his glasses because of course I did.
Go on, right, yeah.
They're unreal. Honestly, they're unreal. This crap quality, but they're unreal. Paid like 40 quid for a bit of tin foil with some foam on the back, but he signed them, so I was over the moon. You know what I mean? But he was a very, very, very like accommodating man. He would answer any question. I barely spoke because again I got a bit starstruck. I tend to be a bit of a trend with me, I think. He was very nice, and people after me and before me were asking him tons of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And he was mounting, and then you see him now, as you say, he's just so jaded and bitter with the whole thing, and it's time to let it go.
Bill
I think.
Goldberg.
I mean, how long ago was that match?
Spills his milk.
25,
Bill
26 years ago, whatever it was.
Just let it go. Like,
Again,
it's not going to change anything.
it's not going to change anything. It's
Him being a bit of prick isn't going to change.
No. And the worst thing is, when he does pass away, that's going to be one of the main things people remember.
Yeah,
exactly,
that's it,
and
yeah.
that's
He's
the
gonna
sad.
become the meme,
That's the sad thing about it.
He
Yeah.
was a good wrestler, but just miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going back to the Hogan thing, if you don't mind. Obviously, we spoke about it with yourself last time, Ryan, and you know the feelings because you didn't grow up with him.
Yeah.
Matty, you made a comment there before how you were somewhat indifferent to the Hogan passing away. I mean, why is that? Is that just something
I've
you
never ever been a fan.
just
seen
never
him.
gravitated?
No, I think he was big obviously in the 80s and 90s. I didn't get into wrestling until like 2001-ish, so it wasn't his peak. So
Yeah, but he was on the downward.
that's
fair enough.
No, it's never a fan. It's not even on my Mount Rushmore.
Really?
Yeah.
So who? Well, there's a question for all of you now. You've started it now.
I
Who would be your Mount
I
Rushmore?
don't know if I can say his name.
Oh,
Just say it.
Chris Benoit is
Yeah, I mentioned
absolutely
him
on
last
there.
week or so.
Dean
it's
Malenko-
all right. We mentioned him.
Dean Malenko as well. How do you say his name?
Malenko.
Yeah, Malenko. Yeah,
Malenko,
he
yeah.
was criminally underrated.
Spectacularly so.
CM Punk, because I'm a CM Punk now. What's that?
Same.
3.
One more.
I thought Mount Rushmore. What do
You were going to say Rampage Jackson there, weren't you?
You're gonna say that.
Roger Jackson.
Yeah, just
Roger Jackson for his realism.
Yeah, for his realism, right.
TNA Kurt Angle.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a good
Wow.
shout.
So that 10-year run in TNA, hard to deny that, like, because he was great in WWE, but when he hit that level in TNA, it's hard to
It's a
dispute
shame
that.
what he was going through at the time.
God, yeah.
To have to do that.
The irony is, though, that's the thing. He was on self-admittedly, this is not saying anything untrue. He was on numerous, prescription drugs. And God knows what else. And he's clean as a whistle these days. But he admits that he was. But as you say, the matches that man put on there. And the worst part is, we made a good point about Nick Aldis last week. A lot of people don't know Nick Aldis was how talented he is. Yeah. People probably didn't watch a lot of TNA, so didn't even see Kurt's run, especially in this country. Yeah. I think a lot of people wouldn't even have seen the majority of Kurt's run, because I reckon, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about the territoriality of fans, I reckon a lot of fans thought when he left WWE he retired.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Didn't even know he was working for another company. It's true, isn't it? Because you said that about, you brought up Nick Aldis the other day with, obviously, he carried the belt for how long did he carry the belt for?
1,000 days.
There you go.
But then his first one as well, before he lost it to Cody at the first All In, that was 300 days.
Was it really? So he's carried it for
he carried it for a year, lost the Cody, won it back from Cody I think a month or two later.
Yeah, Cody didn't have it long, did he?
No, they carried it for another 1,000 days. That's what 1,300 days combined.
You can't really argue with that. Like, that's a hell of a reign.
But now people look at him nowadays, he's SmackDown General Manager.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So people don't know how good he is.
But even his team with Doug Williams as well, the British Invasion back in TNA, like that was a crap.
Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. But there you go, though.
Terry.
And that's Rob Terry as well. Yeah. Does he still wrestle?
I hope not. He was shit, man. He was shit.
Oh, there's a thumbnail if ever there was. I'm gonna edit that into a short. That is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, following on from you then. So who's your Mount Rushmore?
Not Rob Terry.
I need to get. I'm sorry. We don't make any money. You got no to take.
So it's always the last spot I got made, but on there definitely from who we talked about last week, Undertaker, AJ Styles,
Indeed,
Ric Flair is one of much more.
Wow,
when I grew up, I wanted to be Ric Flair when I was growing up.
Did you?
Yeah, I loved Ric Flair, mate. Yeah, honestly.
I'm with him. Hogan and Flair for me were.
But even just like the way he portrayed himself as well, it's like when he goes like, I'd go out and drink and party and do all this. Like, I want to do that.
Do you not think it's funny though, the fact that he didn't gravitate towards Hogan?
Did you see a lot now? Like,
well, this is it though. But do you not think it's funny based on obviously age thing and what we were saying before? You didn't gravitate towards Hogan. Flair was in the business way longer than Hogan, and yet he absolutely ticked the boxes for yourself.
Well, I have a good obsession with suits as well. I love a good suit.
Well, you mentioned, you've made me think. We didn't look at the suit that you mentioned you had in the car from when you got light tube. Yeah. Forgot all about it. I remembered when we got.
It is still there. Yeah.
We need to have a look after this. We need to have a look after this and.
But yes, so AJ, Flair, Undertaker, and I've got Aldis up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So
it's 4 on.
I thought Mount Rushmore was 5.
No, Mount Rushmore was 4.
Yeah.
There'll be 5 soon when they put Trump on there now.
That
was a joke. And what about yourself, Ryan?
Oh God. Controversial take. Dynamite Kid.
Wow.
Right. Eddie Guerrero.
Right.
Dean Malenko.
Wow. You two definitely have a lot in common then. Yeah.
Very. Kurt Hennig.
Oh, there we go.
My favourite ever wrestler.
Kurt Hennig.
My favourite ever
Absolutely
wrestler.
spot on.
Guerrero versus Malenko
I could watch those matches back to back, and I did.
Are Dynamite Kid's his nephew still wrestling? They were a tag team.
Yes, I was supposed to wrestle Mark.
Yeah,
I was supposed to wrestle Mark. Oddly enough, in Pigswood.
Of all places. Oh God, I remember that.
So I was supposed to work his nephew.
Right.
But
because I saw them when they were relatively new, and I think it was the Academy in town, and Pac was on the card. Joe Hendry was on the card. I actually spent a good half an hour talking to Joe Hendry, or a good while talking to Joe Hendry anyway. He's doing great stuff now, and it was a big. They made a big thing of introducing them because obviously who they were, and
of course,
Tom Bilton's nephews.
Tommy got into AEW as well, didn't he, for a brief stint?
Did he really?
Yes, he did. He's not still there.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
He did a lot of stuff on the dark match stuff.
I didn't know that. Right.
Yeah.
So they hit a canny level.
Oh yeah. So they did a few stuff on, as far as I'm aware anyway, just going from his Facebook. AEW, I think he did a lot of stuff in Japan as well, so he's following his stuff. He looks a lot like him as well.
Yeah.
Right.
He looks a lot like him.
As he's getting older.
Is he? Because when I saw them, they were dead skinny.
I'll show you once we finish.
See, this shows you how out of touch I am with keeping in track with the local matches. But when I saw them, I'm pretty sure they were teenagers.
Yeah.
They were kids. You know what I mean? And they were great.
Yeah.
They were absolutely great.
Blood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it, exactly. You know, some people have just got it, haven't they? You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's it,
born that way, you know what I mean? So, yeah, did you name your 4 there? You did, didn't you?
I did.
And what about yourself, Wayne?
Oh, this is tough. Bray Wyatt, it's going to be very unusual. 4 people. Bray Wyatt, Tommy Dreamer,
Trout.
Jerry Lynn, I was always a
Oh, very
huge
good
fan
shout,
of
very good.
when,
Yes.
and I'm not so much of a fan of her anymore, sadly. But Becky Lynch, obviously with the Irish connection as well. I'm a big Becky fan.
I like it.
Not
I like
so
it.
much anymore. But
Yeah, I think she's another one, isn't she? That's
Victim of her fame.
yeah,
What do you mean, Victim of Fame? What does that mean?
Have you not seen her recently, like her matches or anything recently with Becky Lynch?
Did you not see the...
Oh, I've watched since I've returned.
Yeah.
She's not to that level anymore.
she's not. No,
No,
she's very
absolutely not.
yeah,
She's-
yeah.
Never mind.
I mean, I personally can't speak. I can't speak from experience, but obviously you 3 can. You know what I mean? You know how a match works. You know how to sell. You were on about before a great seller, and
I
she's
think
a
one
terrible
of
seller.
so like I said, I didn't watch a lot of the like Smackdowns and Raws. My other half got into it once I went over to Netflix, which was great and horrifying all at once. Yeah. So, me, my other half wasn't a big wrestling fan, but once I went over to Netflix, she started watching it a lot more, and she got into like the storylines and stuff like that. You know, when I'm lying in bed, like waiting for work and all, like hear from the other rooms, you know, 4 letters, 1 word.
I hate that. I hate that. I'm not going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I hate that.
Oh, really?
I hate it. I don't know why. I can't even give you a rational explanation as to why.
It's a 7-minute entrance, and then he restarts it again, and that's
That might be why.
But it is massively over. It is
Yeah,
massively over.
that's-
Can't deny it. The kids love it and the fans love it.
So
I don't know
he's,
this
he's not in your Mount Rushmore. He's not.
No,
Steve,
God, no. Well, let's face it. At damn near 46 years of age, I am not his demographic. You know what I mean? To be honest, my little girl, she's 9, and she'll when he comes on, she's like, "Is that the guy that says yeet?" I'm like, "I'm just going to the kitchen. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to go and leave the room." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as you say, Ryan, it sums it up perfectly. He is a 7-minute entrance,
Yeah.
and then gets to the ring and
And
does
then
it again.
restarts it again.
Yeah.
Just start.
And I look at it and I go, but I mean, in terms of Mount Rushmore, since you're asking, Kurt Hennig, favourite wrestler of all time, I'd have to put Hogan just purely because he's Hogan.
Yeah.
Steve Austin,
Good show.
and
I don't think Austin gets enough credit.
Nah.
I mean, he's
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Ooh, God, yes,
oh, nice
yes.
one,
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Now the irony
God
is,
bless you,
Kurt
Sean.
Hennig and Rick Rude, good friends growing up. You know, I believe Scott Hall as well was one of that group. But Ravishing Rick Rude, he never got obviously had to retire with a very serious back injury. Which when you look, it's such an innocuous bump. It's a nothing, but it was the edge of the stage. You obviously Sting when he did the dive over on him, but he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Rick
His
Rude.
character and his personal life are absolutely parallel as well. Because
Oh, he was a devoted family man.
Big family
Yeah.
man, religious through and through.
Was he deeply religious? Was he? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't
big
know.
Christian, Christian background.
Yet the character he played on screen was the womanizing, narcissist.
It's like me.
There you go, ladies.
Family man.
There you go. But no. I mean, Rick Rude, I just think as a wrestler, just gets. And do you know the worst part is as well? He's so rarely brought up in discussions, and I just think that's criminal because.
He should be.
Well, this is it, and he was so good. That neck breaker, the Rude Awakening, looked like he was literally snapping their neck. It was so well done. And if you had a guy who could take the move in a way, the irony is the enhancement guys used to take that move better than the stars because he used to really like put it in on the enhancement guys, and it looked great. And I don't know if I'm guessing they probably went through how to do it properly beforehand, safely. Because let's face it, the way he used to jar their neck, the wrong person you take that you could seriously hurt yourself.
Yeah.
I think with the enhancement guys, they're trying to prove a point that they deserve
Yeah.
to be on the show. So
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I saw Robbie Brookside years ago at a show with Jake the Snake Roberts when Jake was in a really bad way, and I saw him, and it was such a strange show. The fans sat on the stage,
Right.
and the ring was on the floor, so the wrestlers had to walk past you in the crowd to get to the ring. Whereas if they put the ring on the stage, which was the venue, it was like a bingo hall, and Robbie Brookside was an enhancement talent back then. Now he's a bloody trainer in NXT, I think now, isn't he? Yeah.
Insane, really.
And he was this skinny little blonde guy, and I didn't know who he was. I'd never seen him before. And he put on the match of the night, and he was just a guy, you know what I mean?
Very good.
And it blew my mind. But Jake that night was in a bad way, bad way. Thankfully, turned it all around now, with DDP. Yeah, exactly. Big shout out to him. Right then, now that I've got that out of the way, I just want to move on a little bit. Wayne wanted to discuss obviously we had NXT UK, we've had other versions of NXT around Europe and whatnot. There was going to be an NXT Europe. Wayne knows a bit more about this than I, so I'm just going to hand over to him.
It's looking likely, because I know when NXT UK disappeared, they had went, don't worry, we'll be launching an NXT Europe. There were rumours earlier this year that was going to start. Now, more recently, Dave Meltzer is like, no, they've quietly shelved that. They're not putting. I'd be very interested to know from you guys, from your experience, did NXT UK, because I can remember personally having a wonderful conversation at a promotion one night with Johnny Saint. Speaking of Dynamite Kid, he was a lovely man, and we were talking at length about his friendship with Dynamite Kid. And did NXT UK change anything for you guys personally for the scene? And now in a post NXT UK world, would you be eager for something like either World of Sport or NXT UK to come back again?
I think it was like a double-edged sword, wasn't it?
I was just thinking that.
They were hoovering up talent.
Yes.
And they weren't allowed to work.
Say what I'm thinking. Go on.
They were hoovering up talent. That then they weren't allowed to work local shows.
Right.
So that was.
Is that what happened? Was it?
Yeah.
But on the other end of that sword, it was giving guys that wouldn't usually have a chance to.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So there was a
their
positive
spot.
to it, as it were. Yeah.
My favourite thing about the whole excuse me, NXT UK thing, and probably saying you'll probably agree with me on this, Roode, because you were there with me. I was during the time before COVID and after COVID training with a wrestling school called Bat Ready, which was run by Primate.
Of course.
Who wrestled on NXT UK.
Yeah.
And what I used to love about that is he would go to the UK Performance Centre, he would do his training with them, and then he'd come back to Battle Ready and teach us what he had learned
Teach us what was there.
at the Performance Centre.
So he shared the knowledge. And
Yeah.
Is he still working these days?
No.
He's not. I was going to say I didn't think I'd seen anything of him in a long time.
He's just doing his competitions now.
Yeah, it's CrossFit. But I think that was the best thing about it. Then, because he had his WWE connections, so some of the seminars that we got to do, like Tyler Bates.
Fantastic seminar.
Really?
One of the best ever
Tyler
did.
Bates,
I love Tyler Bates.
Isla Dawn and
I like Isla Dawn as well.
yeah, all the connections he had with the NXT UK guys. For me, still being as new as I was at the time, that was invaluable knowledge that I couldn't pass up on that, and probably you feel the same way about that.
Absolutely.
I like that. I mean, when you talk about just a little segue there, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne at was it Chicago, NXT Chicago. It's one of the I think it was that match, one of the greatest matches I've ever seen in my life. And it just shows you when these guys, as you say, are given the chance to work and go out there. They put on a show. Two little British fellas who nobody probably in the crowd had even really much knowledge of. Went out there and absolutely stole the show for the UK title, and it was unbelievable, unreal. It was whatever the match was. It was the match Pete Dunne won the UK title, the NXT UK title. And it was just incredible. And I love that these guys are, as you say, doing seminars and talking to the guys, trying to get it to that into that type of thing. You know what I mean? I love that. I think that's good.
Shared good knowledge. That's the way the industry should be. It's
absolutely
like push from the share the knowledge from the top downwards. You know what I mean? It's like. It's the way
I like that.
Should be.
No, I
you
like
guys
that.
always say leave the scene in a better state than what you're joining.
Yeah,
exactly.
Me and Ryan were told. I can't remember who it was, but I'm convinced it was Johnny Storm.
I think it was Johnny.
And he said to her, leave the scene in a better state than it was when you joined it.
Yeah.
So you were a benefit to it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
So it'd always be help the guys underneath you, not hinder them. Like don't sit there on your. I've got all this information. Don't sit there on your ivory tower and just go. Yeah, you should just retire. Quit.
Yeah.
Don't worth lace me boots. Help them get to the places where they need to be.
Because you got the help on your way up.
Because
I like that. No, I like that. I love that you've all got that same mentality as well. Because this goes back to what I was saying to you before about bad eggs in the locker room or whatever, in the ring and whatnot. I love that. You've got that mentality, because there will be people out there who, as you say, carry themselves in a way that they don't deserve.
100% there is.
Absolutely.
And won't help anybody as a result.
That's not just like individual people, though. It's people, there's promotions, there's
what's this whole companies like
this
that?
whole company, there's clicks, there's things like that. I'm not saying that wrestling should be to some degree gate kept, because it absolutely shouldn't. Wrestling is for everyone. Not everyone can wrestle or should wrestle, but wrestling is for everyone.
There's the big point.
That's one of the big things about it, because there was a thing a while back where it was everyone going, wrestling is for everyone, or everyone who wants to wrestle can wrestle, and it's absolutely not the case.
I don't believe that for a second.
No,
I'd love to do it, but I know I can't.
There's
I'm not
there's
that
enough opportunities, enough jobs, and enough things to do
Yeah.
within the boundaries of wrestling, announcers, commentators,
Yeah.
camera crew, photographers, music, you know, this
Yeah,
it's a whole production. But if you only want to be a wrestler but you're not a very good wrestler, it's not for you. That's
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah,
fair
well,
enough.
and that's sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is,
Um,
and it's hard telling people.
and
that.
it's hard telling people that.
Well, I think because if they've got a mentality of or a dream.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If you
Yeah.
look at it this way, you watch wrestlers as a kid, and
Yeah.
you watch them do it, and you go, I've always wanted to do that, and then you get out of there, and you're shite.
Do you know the
Sorry
irony?
to say, but you're shite.
Watching it as a kid, I never wanted to. I
No.
never wanted to be that guy. I wanted to do this. I wanted to announce. I wanted to commentate. I wanted to interview, you know, which is why when I first got in contact with you all those years ago, Matty, it was a case of all I ever wanted to do was give an interview with you.
Yeah.
And one a day, you know, and I wanted to, I've got one bucket list item, which one day I'll probably, once we've done this a bit more, if you are willing to come back on, I want to take a bump once because I've always wanted to do it and I want to know what it feels like.
I'll take a bump.
Through a table.
No.
Oh, actually, we've talked about this, haven't
We'll start.
we?
We'll
We've
start.
talked about this. For
We
some-
have talked about this. Yeah, we did.
Yes,
I
that-
know,
that
when I
show,
was,
yes.
when I was
Oh,
on the
yeah.
source.
Oh dear.
Ties
There
back.
we go,
Yes,
there
there
we go. God almighty, I forgot we spoke about that. But yeah, it's just a bucket list thing. I don't want to match. I don't want to be in a match. I've got knee. I'm not athletically gifted
I'll
like
do
that. Hey?
I'll do it. I'll put it through.
There you go. So there we go. At some point.
Do it now.
Not now. No, these tables are canny robust. We're
I'll
not.
watch 7 pounds deep.
Yeah, you will. You'd have to. I'll have to be 7 points deep. You know what I mean?
I'll be sober. I'll enjoy myself.
But no.
And no,
We
film
do
it and
actually-
I will enjoy it.
Do you know the worst thing is? Friends, people we get on with, you know. But no, it's one of those things. It's like I say, I never watched wrestling with the intent of ever I want to be a wrestler. I actually quite like the idea because, as you can tell, I'm a talker. I like the idea of being a mouthpiece, which is why I think I gravitated to the likes of Jimmy Hart and Jim Cornette and Bobby Heenan, probably the greatest manager of all time. You know, I gravitated towards them because those men could speak, and I loved that because I thought, you know what, I might not be, athletically gifted, but I can talk.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at it in my own, if I do say so myself. And it was one of those things where I thought, I could do that. I just never knew how. Do you know what I mean?
Fair.
This was the thing, and it was one of those things I didn't grow up with friends who were like yourselves in the business or anything like that. I didn't have contacts. The irony is, in terms of contacts in wrestling, I didn't have anything until I met Wayne.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And it was one of those things where since then we've done so much.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, by the way.
Oh no, I'm
Oh,
dead.
yeah. I mean,
Let's see how it is, mate.
just to spin off on that though, that I mean, none of it really like
Grew up with each other.
none of them grew with each other, and like
I find that mad, that
no
you
one-
didn't know each other that long.
no one really. Well, I didn't pursue the business. They just found me by chance.
That's great though. I love
Yeah.
that way. It's just like a bit of
that's-
serendipity, as it were.
yeah,
Just
that's all
fell in
it was,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
You were?
Oh, here's a story then. Come
My
on.
intro to wrestling was weird. You mentioned him earlier, Paulie C.
Yeah.
So it was about 2007. I'd just left school, and I was just doom scrolling, it's called now, on YouTube, and a video came up with a promo,
Right.
and it was Paulie C and
Ring of Faith.
the Flower Child,
That one. So that one.
Johnny Hogarth.
Alright, okay.
No, and it was just a promo. And there was a promo.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though.
IWF. The word, the ring of what?
It was called the Ring of Faith. There was a show that was like an old IWF show.
IWF, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
and it was
yeah.
with
So
Paulie C and his little.
that's how I got into it. Like,
Right.
it was just totally by accident. I seen a promo, and this promo was Paulie C and his Charlie gimmick, and it just I don't know. I was thinking, yeah, this is pretty sick.
Love it.
You're talking
I did
about
a little bit of research, and it's where Pac started at IWF.
Is it really?
Mm.
Oh, it is. Yes, yeah. Gator.
I used to work with a guy who knew his mum.
No,
That was such a random thing.
yeah.
He's in town all the time, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, he was at the
he was
team
at-
game the other week
he
with
was
Sami
at
Zayn.
Sami Zayn, yeah.
That tell you what, that was an odd pairing now.
Yeah.
It was
But they don't even work for the same
at
company
game.
anymore. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's interesting to hear because of the fact that I was just saying there, you're all obviously very good mates,
Yeah.
and I love that. Yet you just haven't known each other a large percentage of your life, a good percentage. Don't
Yeah.
get us wrong, but not like a huge. I mean, the guy who lets us use this premises, I've been friends with him for about 42 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we've never not been friends. It's one of those things. It's just, when you meet somebody, I think human beings are weird in general anyway. It's like, I like that person, I'm going to spend all my time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just, it's such a weird thing. And
Yeah.
the fact that you found so many people, or a good group of people that you're so good mates with, and you trust with, as you said before, your health, your livelihood,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, it's different for these lads, I think, but like 99% of my friends are all in the business.
Are they really?
Like,
Wow,
I
right.
speak to one person I went to school with. just reconnected with another person I went to school with. Haven't seen him in 13 years. But I
Wow.
only met him when I was 8-year-old and didn't speak to him after 12. My best mate growing up, Ethan, I haven't spoken to him in a few years now.
Right.
But I've known him for 22 years, and everyone else is in the business. Like, I've known him 8
Well,
years.
it's funny you should mention it because he has Ethan.
Can you imagine? Never mention it, we just randomly bring him in.
This is an episode of This Is Your Life.
I agree.
I love it.
Most of my friends are in the business. The rest of them are in Discord. Like,
Yeah.
I like that though because
And
it
my best
means
mate's like I've known for like 5 to 8 years. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, and I just these boys with my life, not him.
I love you too, man.
I like that. I like that.
You said that before. I said the not you part.
No,
Right?
No, I.
They're not going to fight. I hope.
I've got a dodgy hip. I can't fight today.
Dodgy hip. Well, I got 20 years on you, man. You want to talk
I
dodgy
took a
hip?
bump on the outside the ring. That was a stupid idea. Oh, Joe Gacy's gone.
That's all right. He's fine. now. It's fine.
Took a bump.
Yeah,
It's
like
alright.
that. That's what the bump looked like.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
As if to illustrate it. Excellent.
Alright,
Well, there we go. It's a
Joe
talking point
Gacy
for
gone,
that anyway. But if we just move on, if you don't mind, boys, what I like to do is I've got a segment. I'm saying what I like to do. This is only the second episode, but what I did last episode with both Ryan and Wayne is I got them to tell me their favourite. I know I've given Mount Rushmore and whatnot, but favourite ever wrestler and favourite ever match doesn't have to be from that particular wrestler, but obviously you yourself did that.
Okay.
So Matty, I'll start with you. What's your favourite wrestler, favourite match?
It's gonna be CM Punk, isn't it? My favorite wrestler, CM Punk.
Not wrong with that.
No.
No wrong with that.
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah,
You
I need to look it
Never
up
guessed
now.
that, yeah.
You've done. You put us on the spot.
I think favorite match. Obviously, we touched upon the Cody and
Yes.
Dustin match.
That wouldn't be a bad shout at all, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's a toss up between Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank.
Great. When he left with the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Lesnar Angle at WrestleMania 20.
Great as well.
No,
Yeah, even with that incredible finish. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The fact that he was even able to finish after that was insane. But no, I think either of those would be a great shout, to be fair. Like,
Or Aleister Black and Ricochet versus War Raiders at NXT.
That was really good. That was surprisingly good. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I saw Aleister Black years ago when he was wrestling as Tommy End.
Tommy End.
Yeah. Saw him years ago. Had no idea how big that guy was going to become.
Yeah.
I love
WWE
Aleister Black.
majorly dropped the ball with him.
Oh, it's unreal.
Oh, yeah.
What have they done?
Yeah.
I know.
And Miro.
Oh, the both of them. Yeah, they both of them.
What's the point? You brought them.
Andrade as well.
Yeah, brought them
What's he
back
done?
just to slip on like just
Three of the best workers in the world.
slip
I know.
back into the
And they have just kind of fallen
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
mixer again.
Yeah,
And Aleister Black is legitimate world champion. I mean, we mentioned this about wrestlers that'll probably never be world champion. We mentioned LA Knight. I think LA Knight is, or at least not be WWE champion. Let me rephrase that. Sorry, because I know he has in TNA and whatnot. But LA Knight is just the most underrated guy, and he's, as I said to Ryan and Wayne last week. Well, this is it exactly. And he's unfortunate to exist, unlucky to exist, at a time when the likes of CM Punk and Cody and The
all
Rock
coming back. Yeah,
are all dominating the top of the card.
Yeah.
Roman dominating the top of the
I
card.
was watching. I think it was the show before Survivor Series when Punk returned, and I was watching it with Kendall, and we're talking about we honestly believe that LA Knight would become world champion when they won the world title. Like, he's going to be Rollins, he's going to get the belt, whatever. And then next month Punk returned. We both looked at each other, and went, "Yeah, that ain't happening."
It's never happening.
No,
I mean,
because they were pushing Gunther at the time that
That's it.
Punk returned. It's like,
do you know the only
he's
way I
gonna
think
go
you'll ever
down.
get the title? Injury.
yeah,
Somebody goes down hurt.
Mhm.
He might get the title then because they know they can give him a run with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they won't. You know what they'll do? They'll give it to Drew McIntyre.
yeah.
And I love Drew McIntyre. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely
I'm sick
deserve
to
it.
death of him.
I
now.
think there's
I'm bored
so
of
many
him.
options
Yeah,
that
I'm
you
bored
could go with above LA Knight, though, isn't there?
I would.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I'd
it's
elevate
hard.
a guy. Elevate Aleister Black.
Mhm.
Elevate, because I mean, LA Knight's what, 42, 43 years old. You know what I mean?
Something like that.
And he's not there yet. He should be multiple world title reigns in now. He's been in WWE for what, 6-7 years now.
It's been a while now.
That's it, since COVID.
Yeah. So a good 5 years, 6 years, you know, and he should be there now. And as I say, I think he's just unlucky to exist at a time when the top of the card's dominated by some very, very strong characters.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's going ahead of Roman. Let's face it. You
Right.
know what I mean?
No.
Absolutely not.
It just feels like with the current product as well, though. It's like there's just a lot of rehashes. There's only so many times I can watch this tribal chief rehash and remake.
I'm sick of the
and,
bloodline.
I'm sick
Sick to death of the bloodline.
of the bloodline. It was good, really solid storyline.
Oh, it was
The long title reign going with it and everything
then there's
worked.
a second version, then a third version. I'm bored to death of it. I'm
I
bored.
couldn't agree
And
more.
now the
to
majority of
death
them
it.
aren't even related. There's all the Tongans now, aren't there? So it's not even the original.
Well, that's
bloodline
it. There's
now.
not even the original bloodline anymore. Take Tamatonga and Tongaloa and all that.
Yeah.
They're the Gorillas of Destiny. You know, they were great back in New Japan.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And it just seems to be like everything's just getting rehashed
Agreed.
all over again. Yeah.
Totally agree.
And it's all
Totally
stuff
agree.
I've already seen. So
100 times out of 100,
Yeah,
it's the same
yeah.
thing. But I mean, in terms of that, then, come on then. First favourite wrestler, favourite match.
oh god, I've always been a Rob Van Dam fan.
Good call.
Uncle Rob.
Not so much with these recent comments, but good call.
Yeah, well, good. That aside, well, I met him on the 5-star. Lovely man.
Yeah,
I've heard that everywhere. He's,
Yeah,
he's the nicest guy.
nicest guy
yeah.
in the world.
Which makes the comments a little bit more
Yeah,
bizarre.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just hurt my feelings. Rob.
Apart from we got kicked out of the nightclub in Newcastle. But,
Well, that as well. For a different story. That one.
We'll talk about it later. I wanna know.
So we'll go to ECW. 1999, Living Dangerously. Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn.
Awesome.
Technical masterclass. There's a lot of stuff in ECW that I think gets overlooked.
Nobody watched it, especially over here. Nobody watched
It's
it.
ridiculous. You had some of the best wrestlers of all time on there. Your Dean Malenko's, Eddie Guerrero's put on, honestly, technical masterclasses
Yep.
night after night after night. Both Jerry Lynn and Rob Van Dam, because I wasn't really that familiar with Jerry Lynn until much later.
I think a lot of people probably still aren't,
And my old,
which is really sad.
my old tag partner, Easy B,
yeah.
spoke highly of Jerry Lynn,
Right.
like a lot. And then I think it was just one night we were sitting, we were watching, and I was like, you know, this is some of the best chain wrestling and back to back technical wrestling I've ever seen, and I've watched that match over and over and over and over.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. See, this is what we were saying in terms of, because my favourite ever match is Mania 25, Taker Michaels.
Yes.
Because that's the same exact same match.
The
Because
good verse of when they were wearing black.
when he came
Yeah,
to,
when he came
in the
from
white,
there,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you know why though? Because it's, and you agreed with me on this, it's the match I'd show to somebody to get them into wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
they say you should never show anybody your favourite match because they won't get it.
Yeah.
I think anybody could
I
watch
think
that
you
match
can
and
get
get
that
into it.
match,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's
Absolutely.
perfect. If there is such a thing, as you were saying before, in terms of the Cody Dustin match,
Yes, absolutely.
if there is such a thing as a perfect match, that's about as close as it gets.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because they were just, and the only look at the only
a
low
lot of
point.
people disagree, but I
Oh,
think-
don't get me wrong.
I
Because obviously
think all the
they
boxes for
played
me.
it back a year later in Sean's retirement match, of which he definitely did not come out of retirement at any time for a huge amount of money, and ruin everybody's day. But no, I mean the 26 match is great, but the structure is different. The story element of it is different because obviously it was his last match as far as anybody knew, you know. And I just think that match, if I was to show, this is how I know it's a good match. My missus, not a wrestling fan, not a fan at all. She sat through that match and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's how I know, because she was my measuring stick, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was,
I agree with that.
I think that's
Yeah,
perfect.
the half's the same.
But right, conscious of the time coming up on the end, what I'd like to do is what I did with you last time, Ryan, if you don't mind, is I'd like to just tell a few stories. Just to share a few stories between you, all three of us. Stories between all these ways of combined, and by all means, just have at it.
Did you tell me about the McDonald's
I
one?
told the Dumfries McDonald's story. Yeah.
So I wasn't even annoyed, right? But
I thought
You sounded
I thought you
annoyed.
hated me
no,
for a
yeah,
long
obviously,
time.
how old were you? You just passed,
18.
you
I
were
was
just
18.
passed his driving test, 18, and he's sitting in the car with
2 weeks
me,
of my license.
me, Ryan, and
Damien Black.
Damien Black. So
Yeah.
obviously he was nervous because he was sitting around.
And you had one of those special boxes.
Oh, I had a black box as
Black
well.
box.
Oh, you never told us
Yes,
that.
I
Oh,
wanted-
God,
I had a speed
right.
limiter, so I couldn't go very fast.
7 mile an hour.
So we had to go up to Scotland. We had to be there at a certain time. We had to leave mad early in the
Blondie
morning.
Barrett,
I think
yeah.
me and you met each other outside of Tesco
Aye.
on Norham
Stock
Road.
footage. Documented the whole thing.
You did,
And I was starving. So he picks me up, we drive past Silverlink McDonald's. I'll come and stop with a McDonald's. Oh yeah. Right, drive past the first one. I was like, alright.
It's nice to hear the other side of this, I have to say.
I think me and him were sitting in the back.
He was pulling my hair through the.
I was like,
the
I'm not
headrest
shocked.
as well. He just let us go. And,
It's not kind of stopped to see them. We drive past the next McDonald's as we're coming up to Berwick or something. I was like, alright, come to stop. We want to miss breakfast. Yeah, we'll stop at McDonald's. Drives past.
I wasn't doing this on
We
purpose.
got to like 11 o'clock.
Nerves.
I was
And I
a
just
new
looked at-
driver.
I think I might have dozed off. And I woke up and I was like, we've missed fucking McDonald's breakfast! He's like sitting there like,
When he told us he thought you hated
yeah, he did for the longest time. For the longest time, I thought I genuinely hated him, but I wasn't. I was just having a laugh. But
I love it. I love that.
Because there was the shows afterwards where I would see it, He goes, "Ah, here he is, the man that wouldn't let me get my hash brown." And I'm thinking, yeah, that was me, yeah.
Fun story about Ryan Ace as well. So I used to work at a tattoo shop in Monkseaton
Right.
Oh, yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And I was just doing something, and I was like, oh, I really want a t-shirt, like my first ever merch design printed. So I went over the t-shirt printing shop
Right.
directly across the street. I got it, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool, this. And it wasn't until years later that I found out that it was Ryan Ace that printed the first ever Matty Mayhem.
No way.
I did, yeah. I worked with the
design.
t-shirt
And you didn't know
printers.
each other at the
No,
time?
no,
Nah.
not at all.
No.
Wow, right.
Because it was funny as well, because a few weeks before that, because literally the shop that I worked at was just opposite where the tattoo shop was.
Right.
And I remember one day I went for lunch, and it might have been you, might have someone else, but I walked into the tattoo shop looking for the sandwich shop. And some
I
guy
can
was,
see how you get the two confused.
some guy was sat on the couch, just looked at me, looked me up and down and goes, "You're not here for a tattoo, are you, mate?" I was like, "Sandwich?" He goes, "Next door, mate." I was like, "But no,
Just looked through the window, saw someone's buns, and I'm gonna eat that.
Love it.
There's-
Love it.
there's a lot of stories.
I had Ryan, one of Ryan's first ever matches.
Oh, you did,
Did I?
Yeah, yeah.
So I got brought in unexpectedly to a company that we'll not talk about. Many moons ago, the one with the big stairs.
Yeah.
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 One you
Uh,
mentioned before. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got brought in with a couple of other guys, and they had got these fresh lads, fresh trainees. We need someone just to run a match with them, and then it was like the trainees, and there was like a bunch of guys who were a bit more knowledgeable. I'm not say the word vet, 'cause I hate the word vet.
That's all.
I hate it. Hate
Is
it.
that not a
despise-
well-liked word in
I
general, is it?
I mean, they might do, but I dislike it because it's ridiculous. No one's a veteran. Everyone's always learning. That's
I like that.
That is the truth of the matter.
I like that.
We're all still students in the game.
That's it.
And we got brought in, and I got asked, I've got this black guy for you to work, and lurch here. So then,
I'm skinny.
I've got one of the younger lads. Right. So and the guy
What's
said,
your name?
yeah,
I'm
Brian. Oh, I'm Brian as well. Best friends. So yeah, we got all the other guys were like, I'm going to wrestle this guy. Oh, I'm going to smash him. I'm going to pop him. I'm going to put him through this. I'm going to destroy him. And it was like all of the vets, all of the more experienced guys had already had it decided in their heads that they were going to win every match.
Right.
And I was like, no. So
Did you put him over?
I put him over. Put
Good
him over
call,
clean.
man.
Put him over clean.
Awesome.
So I said, because the way the mentality I've always had is that you're supposed to elevate. When I first got the business, I didn't get that. There was no one down at the bottom that was someone to look up. There was a lot of people that people crawled up the arse of that I didn't like because they weren't nice people. They were not
Fair
nice
enough.
people.
Right,
but
right.
it was set in our minds that you respect those that come before and all that sort of stuff, which is fair enough. But respect a two-sided street. And if I'm not going to be nice to you if you're not nice.
I
to
think
me. And
it's
I don't agree with that, especially in this business. There's a lot of people that'll demand respect that don't deserve respect. But I'll leave that there. Anyway, so like guys like Ryan, who's up and coming, nervous, absolutely
Understandable. Yeah.
shaking like a shitting dog.
I would be as well. I have to agree.
And
There.
I was like, right, well, I'm going to put you over. And then the promoter was like, are you sure? Are you sure you definitely want to do that? Well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I want to put him over?
Gives you a hell of a start,
Of course,
doesn't it?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I planned this match, and it was good. It was canny. I've still got the match. It's on YouTube, unlisted, because I've never let anyone say that you beat us.
It's on camera now, mate.
I beat you since then.
Yeah, like dirty tactics used, but
Twice.
and I put you over.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
One of
that.
the things, isn't it, where it means a lot more to the younger guys than it would to us.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
absolutely,
it meant the
absolutely,
world
and
to me.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's the way it's like. Again, I keep coming back to it. It's the way the industry should be.
Like I've spoke
It's,
to-
you can respect the ones before, but you know what I mean. You can also respect the ones that come next
Well, that's it.
without being a shit.
Well,
bag.
keep the business going.
Exactly.
As you said before, as I said before, leave it in a better state than you.
Yeah,
than you found it,
absolutely,
you know what I mean? I
absolutely.
think that's great. I love that.
And our careers are flash in the pan.
Yeah.
We could have an injury when Matty done his shoulder.
Oh God, I.
You were, I don't know if you mind us telling us
No,
this.
I'll go for it.
He sent us. He was panicking because we had it one slap bang in the middle of a big storyline.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't know what was going to happen. What's going to happen with the belts? What's going to happen with here?
Mm-hmm.
He was sending us. He was telling us that he was googling guys who've had similar injuries and how their careers went after that. Because we know this could be it. That's
And
it.
not well, I
That's
take
mad.
it. Was it?
Like,
One of the more famous ones I had, a collarbone break. Yeah, break collarbone.
Collarbone.
Collarbone. Break as clean as that, and then come back and still had a successful career. Was Randy Orton. So
Yeah.
there was
Did he have that same
Yes,
injury? Did he?
yes,
I
he
didn't
did.
know that. Right.
So it was stuff like that.
You two more about the pints all the time, though, weren't you?
Yeah, he told us that as well. I like that.
Let's not go for pints after. He slinged up in Liam's belt.
Kirby was like, no, just go to the hospital.
I ruined your birthday for us. Didn't it?
You
Sitting
bought a
there.
cake on
I
happy
brought a
birthday.
surprise birthday cake for his birthday. He was
Stand there like this with my arm hanging off and he goes,
oh, well, you're not going to eat this cake, then, are you?
I like that though.
But I know it's definitely like, and I know I spoke, go back to what we talked about when Jim's like put me over and stuff like that. I've talked about loads on I talked about last time I was on your show.
Indeed.
I spoke to these guys individually. I spoke about other shows I've been a part of as well. I give these two guys and a few others as well a lot of credit for where I'm at the moment. Like,
I love that.
Definitely wouldn't be where I'm at.
Gross.
Where I'm at without these two. Like, you know, I'm not gonna say I kiss their asses because I didn't like them really.
No.
But, you know,
I think a lot of it is on you and Liam and what you're doing at the moment.
Absolutely. It took you a while to find your feet, but now you found it.
Well, I've been on checking out some of the stuff online, and yous are hilarious.
cheers,
If
man.
you
Absolutely
get the
class.
chance to like go from the start of the feud with Anarchy and Reform and
Right.
work your way through it all, I think that'll
Right.
be an enjoyment.
I grabbed a few bits on. It's been on the official channel or something on YouTube. It was something on there. I searched for your name basically, and it came up with just all sorts of stuff. And I was howling some of the stuff, like the promos and stuff as well.
We'll push the boat out as far as we can go.
Oh,
like,
yes,
I love it.
tell them that story.
oh,
The one before Silent.
Do I have time? Do I have time?
yeah,
Okay,
keep
right,
going.
crack on.
Yeah, by all
Okay.
means.
I want to hear the story.
So we were, as Reform at the time, of course, you know,
Is that when I thought? I'm pulling there.
big hot topic issues is, of course, immigration and stuff like that.
Oh God, yes.
Oh, dangerous
Oh.
territory, boys. Strap in.
God Almighty.
So we had this idea.
Bear in mind, this has got to go on YouTube.
Yeah, we had this idea of doing. You've seen Come Fly With Me?
I have. Oh God.
Doing immigration promos, checking people's rights to wrestle in the UK.
Oh, I like
that
that.
story.
Yeah.
Oh, this
I like that.
So,
It's not where I thought you were going to go with "Come Fly With Me." To be honest.
yeah, no.
No, it gets worse. It gets worse.
It does.
So
Oh, good.
we walked up to Asylum, the wrestler.
There's no Asylum door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Lovely.
Asylum, the wrestler.
Lovely man.
And we thought, we're going to do him first. We'll test that with Asylum. And,
Did you give him any forewarning or?
Freshly fake baked as well.
yeah, he's freshly tanned.
Oh.
I've got this thing, which I'm really glad that I'm teaming with Liam, that I will shout very outlandish promos, and that sometimes
Oh,
Liam has to rein me in on it. Not majorly bad, but stuff that's too on the nose.
Tongue in cheek. That's that sort of stuff.
But this is one of the occasions where
Good heat, though.
Liam didn't rein me in.
Oh God.
So he films, he goes, go on, do it with Asylum. So I walk up to Asylum, I just look and go, Asylum, isn't it? He goes, yeah, that's right. He goes, what's your last name? Seeker? Seeker Asylum from something in this country, are you? And then we cut the promo there. And these boys are just howling.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is absolutely howling. And then I was like, we're going to post it. And I was like, I can't, I'm a teacher, man. I can't post it.
I take it this isn't out there then.
It isn't
No,
out there, no.
no.
It's saved on all our
Do
phones.
you have it that you could send it to me? And I
I
promise
do
not
indeed.
to. I'll
I
not
do
post
indeed.
it. Yeah,
Put it on
yeah.
the end of this.
Oh, whack it on the end. Yeah.
But then that very quickly kiboshed that idea of, like, until recently where we wrestled a fellow named Owen Murdoch, where we got into the ring with him, and we just went, because he's Irish,
Irish fella.
and we just, you know, played it off like he's from the Republic and not Northern Ireland where he was. It was like, so have you got a
Hold
visa?
them back. Hold them back.
Yeah. So have you got a visa to wrestle in this country,
Oh,
sir?
God.
And he was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" And then of course we had to sign waivers and stuff like that as well to ensure it. And we brought that up as well. Like, although this waiver only constitutes England, Scotland, and Wales. But you're Irish, so you know we can do whatever you want to you, like stuff like that. And it's been, you know, that's been a lot of fun, tongue in cheek and stuff like that.
Like I say, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
I've watched obviously by attachment to it. I've seen bits of yourselves as well.
But
You know
even
what
the
I mean?
stuff that's not like to do with Reform, like he won't mind me saying this because he mentioned it on the show yesterday. War Mick, wrestler, had a circumcision recently,
Oh God.
and we
Where's this going?
we,
That's why the God was there. So where the hell?
we were meant to wrestle him. He was meant to team with Owen Murdoch at that match.
Bring it to the ring or anything, did
So,
you?
but so we thought about that. But he
Jesus
You
Christ.
haven't got it on yet, have you?
Well, it's funny.
but no, he just had a circumcision, so he couldn't make it to the show.
Right.
But he was waiting to the last minute to. He told the promoter waiting to the last minute to see if he could actually if he was healed down there. He wasn't, so we got Johnny Sharpen instead. But we did the promo where we go, Warwick can't be here because he just had his foreskin chopped off. So he's at home right now nursing his penis. So like, some of the stuff we say, like, we
I
don't
like
get away
it,
with it, but it's just hilarious.
The
Like,
thing is,
we
though,
pop ourselves doing it.
It ties to your character, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
You're gonna say shit that is out there, and I like that. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? But no, I like that. I think.
I said to him yesterday before he went, because he's wrestling yesterday. He was just about to go out to his match, and his music was playing. I went to him and go, "You should be announced as freshly circumcised, Warmick." So then he starts crying with laughter, and then his music hits, and he's like, "Ace, you're a twat, man. You're a bastard, man. I've got to go out there now." So he goes out bursting with laughter,
trying to keep in character.
trying to keep it in character. It was also to say you should be called freshly snipped.
You can only
love
abuse
that.
that excuse once in your life. It's a phenomenal excuse. Why can't you be at this show? I've just had a circumcision.
Right, so when you use it the second time, people go,
Yeah.
"Oh, did it grow back?"
No, the only person that can get that done twice, I suppose, is Nicky Starr. But something going on wrong.
Massive.
Something wrong doing there.
Anyway, there is. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say that was the conversation took a bit of a dark turn.
It is. There is one story I want to finish on, if
Right,
you
yeah.
don't mind.
When Ryan Roode got stuck on the lift in Bradford.
No.
No.
No,
But it is a
it
city
is. It is
beginning with a
about
B.
Ryan Roode. Yeah. It is about Belfast and the experience you had working or almost working for 5 Star Wrestling.
Oh, that was
If you don't mind.
no, not at all. That was surreal, to be fair. It never happened, unfortunately, but it was with Belfast. Well, you flew there.
I
You flew
flew,
there.
yeah.
I drove with the.
That's quite.
I've got video footage of this as well, so I'll send it. So we had a road trip over to Belfast.
That's quite a trek.
Oh god, yeah, and it was heavy snow.
It was 2018, wasn't it, when
Yeah.
I had that major
Major snowstorm. All the roads were you couldn't see. Our driver was terrified of the road, so it was like 2 miles an hour along the motorway. Cars backed up as far back as you could see, beeping at her. So anyway, we got there, and because of the snowstorms, things like that, flights were cancelled left, right, and centre.
Understandable, yeah.
None of the workers could get in. So there was a huge shortage of workers coming in, and obviously the guys that were doing like the ring crew and stuff like that. The promoter for Rapid said, "Well, the guys can do dark matches," and he was going around and he was showing the producers footage of our matches.
Indeed.
Was it Steve Linsky?
Steve Linsky and I can't remember the other guy's name. I can't remember. He looked like Meatloaf.
No, that he was the booger. That
Right.
was-
I can see the visual image.
But yeah, for him.
It's such a way with words. I love it.
But yeah, him. So he come back obviously sweating buckets because it was a huge. Was the
Belfast SSE.
yeah huge.
Was that where it
Yeah,
was?
yeah.
Wow, right,
So
right.
we were all setting up, huge arena, sweating buckets, right? So he's like, I'm going to take your footage. I'm going to go and show the guys now. I was like, shit, what's happening here? He comes back 15 minutes later. I've just showed the guys your footage. Really like you as a heel. We're going to get you on the show.
Wow.
Instantly, yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So it was me, Nicky Starr as well. And we're not doing anything mega, nothing insane. Essentially, what we just need someone to fill some time, because there might be the skies might clear up and the guys talent might be able to get there.
Yeah.
The flight's over. So great. So right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you in a gauntlet match against Bram, and I was like, right, we're gonna put these 3 small guys in from Ireland, get them straight in. Just gonna flatten them. Right, okay. Then we're going to put Nicky Starr in with another guy from over on Ireland. He was called like Shooting Star or something like that. And they come up with these names, something like that.
Right.
And we're going to get them both in against Bram. And he went, right, and you're going to be the big one. You're going to be the final one. And I went, shit.
That's awesome.
Buff. Again. Honestly, chewing the fabric of through my arse. Yeah, shit. So we were all just sitting there, and then in the changing room, like, sitting with Howard Drake, sweating, still sweating. and it was like right until the cusp, just before the show, just before the show. All the other guys, or like the flights come through, and the guys got there and stuff like that. But yeah, that was as close I had. I had the entrance music sorted out because I had something in stock, which was great. I had me match graphic and everything all sorted, sitting there. I was again, it was as close as I have to something like that. But I mean, I have had other things happen since then, like other big shows that I've done since then, to be fair. But
good.
That one was probably like the first big step into that level of show anyway.
That's great though. I mean, the fact that you got the chance, I know obviously it didn't pan out as you had hoped, you know.
Yeah.
But the fact that you got the chance, I mean, that shows you that, to be honest with you as well, I would take it as a compliment that they wanted you to go on last.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted you to be, you know what I mean? It says a lot about you.
Recognise the talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and obviously we toured with a lot of them anyway, didn't we? Because we travelled around quite well. So you would wrestle quite a few of them, but a lot of the guys, a lot of talent there, but got to know quite well. Said like Uncle Rob, Cousin Ray, miserable shit here.
So can I ask you then if you're so I know we talked about this years ago and I vaguely remember the story. Rob Van Dam, was it a gentleman's club in Newcastle?
Please don't say its name.
It's not the gentleman's club.
We were in. I can't remember.
Bayou.
Oh, Baja.
No.
Oh, I know which one you mean. Yeah.
So there was me, Nicky Starr, another one that I'm not.
Bijou.
Name. Yeah, something like
Bijou,
that.
that's the one. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah.
Me, Nicky Starr, somebody else, the promoter Paul Wild, Rob Van Dam, and Colito. So we're going around. We're going around Newcastle. We're going around Newcastle from bar to bar. Obviously, when the bar staff realised who it was, we're getting free shots and stuff like that.
As you should.
Absolutely.
Rob was out with his wife, girlfriend,
Katie.
Yeah, I don't know if they're married or not.
Katie Forbes.
Katie Forbes, yeah, she was there as well.
Lovely as well.
And some people started getting really arsey. Obviously, it's Newcastle. People
With him?
with Rob
With
and
him.
Katie.
And
Really?
Rob's hands are huge.
So
Is he a big lad?
so
He's a big lad.
someone was starting to get a little bit arsey. So Rob punched some guy. So we all got kicked out. So we're standing outside, and me and Aaron, Nicky Starr looked at each other and we're like, "Shit, we've left Carlito."
There's a sentence that you never expect to hear.
So we had to convince the bouncer to let we're back in to go and get Carlito. And Carlito was standing against a big bollard.
For the camera.
Oh, sorry. So there's like you're tall.
You're still on. You're still on there.
You can be the bollard, right?
I'm the bollard, right?
So he was just standing there with his foot up like this, just leaning against the wall like this, with a pint in his hand, and we're like, Rob's been kicked out. He's punched someone, and I was expecting, like, oh, why has he done that? And his response was, for fuck's sake, not again. He necked his pint, and then we just went. But that was an experience being out in town with them, like I fanboyed like anyone would with Carlito.
Imagine how I'd be.
I was asking like stupid questions, like
You'd be
obviously
on the phone,
Oh, I'd be dead, mate. Honestly,
I've had a few pints anyway, so when I've had a few pints, I'm
Social
a
butterfly.
Social butterfly.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Nightmare.
what's the uncle really like?
I would have been like that.
Is he? Oh yeah, he's alright. And I was like, remember that really shit storyline you had with John Cena when you stabbed him in a nightclub? Yeah, that was fucking dumb.
Well, Wayne before the show brought me a couple of little presents. One of which, Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
I would
There you
do
go.
actually, but there's a Rob Van Dam trading card.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, there's another trading card of a guy who I was going to mention, but I'm not now because I get the feeling he'd probably sue us, so we're not mentioning him. I'll tell you after we get off camera.
Okay.
Controversial is probably the best way you can describe him at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna go there.
He's got some cool stories, though. He was
Yeah.
telling the story.
Please
about
don't say his name.
The Playboy Mansion and everything. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, he's like I say. I mean, I'm sure he's a cool dude and this, that, and the other. But I just the way things are at the minute. I don't wanna get
also a
involved
bit
in
of a
that.
prick.
Yeah, it's not good.
Agreed.
It's not good. So I thought I'd leave that one there, and I'd
Absolutely.
No, yeah.
would leave that one.
Wait until next one.
But no, well, It's nice to hear. There's the next. That was leading us in. Hey,
Yeah.
honestly, it's like this was scripted, isn't it? No, that leads us in.
You have a
I'd
script?
love to have you on again.
Absolutely.
Script. If he's willing to come back, I'd love to have you on again.
There's loads more stories.
Well, this is it.
Loads, we're
Do
just
you know-
pressed for time.
It's funny in terms of when I started this show. This wasn't the structure I had in place.
Alright, okay.
I had no intention of doing interviews until like every other show or something like that. But I'll be honest with you, the fact that I can get yourselves and hopefully others in as well
Sure.
to do this, I think this is it's a different show, which is what my plan was. I didn't want to be just a review show, and the fact that through Wayne and through yourselves, we've got this opportunity to do this. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. And yes, I am gushing over them for the camera because I think it's an amazing thing, and the fact you're willing to do it. You've got no idea. This is something I've wanted, as I said before, something I've wanted to do for years. Never really had the opportunity. Never really had the knowledge of how to do it. Now that it's finally happening, it's honestly, I can't thank you guys enough.
Thanks for having us on.
I appreciate
Do
it.
you know what? I promise you next time you have me on, I'm actually going to wear different clothes.
Don't be silly.
The exact same thing.
I was like, what has he just come straight from the last time?
Well, what I was going to say to you, next time you should put your bloody suit on.
That's not suit,
wear that, you should wear that. But no, honestly, I'd love that. You should. But no, again, all three of you and Wayne, yourself, thank you for coming on. I'm very conscious we're going to wrap this up now. Just a quick one before I do though. One last time, Valves and Vibes, Motors and Campers, custom campers, custom vehicles in general, Land Rovers with tent roofs. They'll do anything you want. Go on their Facebook, check them out, Valves and Vibes. Thank you again for joining us on the second episode of the Wrestling Report. My name's Stephen Fairbairn, Mr. Wayne Madden, and obviously all of our guests. Thank you very much.